We're on?
10-4.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Jaygeons of Dragclarks. We are continuing our quest on the Curse of Strahd. When we last left the players, they had taken shelter in the city of Valakai at the Blue Water Inn. They've met were-ravens and Van Richten. They found out a little bit more about a potential ally, and we are going to go ahead and get straight into the action. You guys, waking up the morning after seeing Strahd, Irina still safe within the confines of the Blue Water Inn. You picked up the orders that you've had waiting for quite some time, and you're ready to go about your day. So what would you like to do?
Go to sleep.
First and foremost, I'd like to get those studded leather boots out of my pack and hand them to Tony. Do you think you could infuse these with that enhance ability spell you were talking about?
Yeah, sure, I can definitely give it a shot. Just get some prerequisite materials and spend a bit of time for it.
If you need any cash for that, let me know. I'll kick whatever you need your way.
Alright. Can do. Just let me know what I need to do, Jake.
All right. So, in the purposes of trying to streamline this as much as possible, based off of the level of the enchantment, and based off of the amount of time, it'll come up to be about 500 gold in total to finish the enchantment. And what we'll do is we can either have it take 20 days, as the book indicates, or what you can do is make a tinkering check. This will be an intelligence check with your proficiency, because you are an artificer. It's in your backstory, and then we can just sit there and chip away at it. You might be able to get it done faster, and the only reason I'm considering this is because you have tinkering as something that's core to your character. So it's either 20 days or we roll to see if you can get it done faster.
Roll to see if I can get it done faster.
All right, go ahead and make your intelligence check. Add your proficiency modifier as well.
Alrighty. Let's see what I get here.
I subtracted that 500 gold from my total, by the way, Tony, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
I got, if we're just doing straight intelligence, I got a total of an 11.
And add your proficiency.
It's 14.
Yep, 14.
All right, so go ahead and roll a D100, and then have the number.
I got a
Round up in this case.
Where's the other frickin' thingamabob?
Just grab another 10.
Yeah, you'll just roll 10 first and then once.
Yeah, there we go. How about a 98?
All right, and then we'll have that, so that becomes 40. 98 would be 49, yes.
Yeah, 49.
Yep. All right, cool. So you sit there, and as you begin to sketch out the plans and all of the stuff, you are beginning to just make sure that you had the arcane ability to it, because this is kind of a new thing for you to try. Usually you're just trying to make something a little bit more structurally sound. You adding the arcane nature into this is kind of new. You totally underestimated the abilities of your powers, and in a giant arcane explosion, you sat there and thought that you'd see the boots no more. They're still there, and you've made some, what you think, pretty good progress. You aren't quite sure how far along you are, but you know that this is definitely possible, and you feel like you made some positive steps to it.
Alrighty.
And then as we continue, you can make this check once a day.
Sounds good.
Yep. And anybody else goings about town?
Do I still have Tinker's tools? Because I know I had them like way back when I set up my character, but haven't done anything with them.
You should, yeah. I don't have anything in here that said you used them and discarded them.
Okay. So I noticed last time when we bought those crossbow bolts that were like silver tipped, and remembering I've already gotten bit by a werewolf and had some problems, I wanted to silver tip some of my arrows.
So you want to remove silver from the bow, melt it down, and add it to your arrows. Or explain the process of how you're going to go about that, because I don't want to take that away.
I'm going to take some of my money that is silver and melt it down and make arrow tips.
That one would be a little bit more blacksmithing than tinkering.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like the idea.
Okay.
I like that idea too. It's pretty clever.
Yeah.
So, if we're in town, could I go grab some smithy tools? Because I'm proficient with smithy tools and do that for him?
Yeah, certainly. Let me look up the price of those.
I want to be a smithy. It's going to cost you $350.
How much is it going to cost the party to have a wheelwright fix the wagon?
We'll call that, because it's kind of a craftsman's work. We'll say that it's 10 gold piece, but it'll spend the course of the day in order to get it just right.
Are you guys good with that? I mean, like we were saying before, I think it makes sense to get the wagon repaired if it's already a 1 to 2 day journey instead of turning into, 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Then Tony, for the smith's tools, it's 20 gold piece.
Alright, and I'll toss in the extra freaking 10 on that to get the wheel fixed.
Alright, cool.
And I'll give Tony half of that since he's helping me out here.
Sweet deal.
Hey Haggard, since you and I are always shopping buddies, is there anything you need to try to find here in Valakai before we get ready to leave?
No, not that I can think of.
Not that you can think of. All right. Is there, Jay? Is there anyone in Valakai that can train me in dual wielding?
With Valakai being, with the war that had come by that you guys were already aware of, you know that most of the warriors themselves have perished. The individuals here are kind of more the not necessarily non-combatants. It's more the those who require
masters
subterfuge in order to survive. So I would sit there and say roll a D100 to sit there, and if you spend all day on it.
I rolled a 99.
You rolled a 99.
Yeah.
The reason why I had you roll is to sit there and see how well you can investigate. There's a number of people who claim that they can, but when you see them go through it, it's kind of amateurish, and you can sit there and it's like a kid when they sit there and say that they can do anything. It's that they can do it, not necessarily that they can do it well.
Okay, so I can't really learn much from them on it.
You learn the power of confidence. However, there's one person that lets you know that there had been rumors of a place where those whose anger and whose just attachment to revenge keeps them alive, and these are some of the warriors that fought in that original battle of Strahd. He, like, when you show your map, he points out a place called, and let me make sure I pronounce this right, Argina Bosthalt. And there's Q on the map.
Where the Abbey is, where the Order of the Silver Dragon's at?
Yeah, where the Order of the Silver Dragon
nice.
is at. And they sit there and say, it's like, if there's anybody, like, the one person who sits there and doesn't have the inflated sense of confidence would sit there and say, if there's anybody who can actually teach you something worthwhile, it'll probably be there.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're signing, 4 mid-year guys, count against next.
I guess my next question is there I mean, I know that Valakai is a pretty rundown place, but is there like a place that like a purveyor of magical oddities, someplace that we can maybe find some strange weapons and armor kind of things?
I would sit there and based off of what you know from what happened in Barovia, the extortion is very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of everything is kind of pieced together. The economies are very closed loop. It's you grow it, you refine it, and then you construct with it.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of stuff with arcane nature, I would sit there and say you can certainly search. Your odds of finding something that is more than just an arcane trinket is very low.
Okay.
Mostly because the goal for this town isn't necessarily to thrive; it's just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So throughout the course of this day, and you guys go on to your chores montage, the wheelwright does fix what's wrong with the carriage. It is back to 100% like operating capacity. The horses are given a good meal. They're reattached. Van Richten's tiger hasn't mauled anybody yet. Yeah, and then have we discussed the converting the silvered bolts into silvered arrows yet?
I don't believe so, but I think Leovan is also AFK at the moment.
Okay. Tony, you there? All right, Hagrid and Crispin, anything you guys would like to do during your chores day?
Not really. Chris, I've just been shadowing Lucian since he bought me that beer, kind of thinking he's my new best friend. Reading too much into it.
Okay.
During our chores day, I notice Crispin following me, and I make strides to foster that illusion.
Okay. This is just by acting because you're not an illusionist.
Right. Friendship is real magic. Illusion is necessary.
This is once again another positive message brought to you by Jaygeons and Dragclarks.
What just happened?
By the way, has anybody passed the 150 HP mark yet?
I have. I don't even have 50 HP.
All right. Everybody here is still subject to power words.
Is today a like, is it a new day yet? Like, has it? You said that the wheelwright would have taken a day to get everything ready. So is it like the next day?
It would be. Well, I guess we'll just circle around and come back to the bolts once Tony and Lave have returned.
I'm back.
All right. So now that you've got your blacksmith's tools, if you sit, like, we'll have you sit there and let's go with what's higher, your dexterity modifier or your intelligence modifier?
Intelligence.
By how much?
1.
1. So I'm not going to make you roll for it. You kind of have seen and constructed enough things to know exactly how to make a well-balanced arrow. But if I can have you make a sleight of hand check with advantage because of the smith's tools, in order to start off by just bringing the silver to the right temperature so that it can be tempered.
Oh, I'm ready. How about a total of 19?
Yeah, that's easily done. You sit there, and it's almost like you can just look into the silver and know when it's ready to go. When it comes down to like crafting it into the correct shape and then attaching it into the arrow shafts, we'll have you make another sleight of hand roll with advantage.
About a 15.
Yeah, they'll do it. Over the course of it, you spend an hour on it, you're able to make 10 quality silvered arrows, something that you're really proud of. They won't do anything outside of its silvered properties, but you sat there and go, yeah, I did this.
Hey guys, I'm a dwarven smithy.
Oh great, more racial confusion from Tony Pobar. All right. Anybody have anything else that they need to do before the day ends?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Nope. All right. Another long rest comes. Night's over. Day has begun, and the wagon is now sitting outside of the Blue Water Inn, ready for you guys to go off on your next arc of the adventure.
Can we get my tinkering check out of the way before we start wandering and adventuring for the boots?
Sir. Tell me what you roll and then have it rounding up.
I didn't hear any of that.
Tell me what you roll and then have it rounding up.
What am I rolling?
D100.
Great, eat your own hot dog. We'll move your plate over, Kaden.
54, so 26.
All right. All right. You make a little bit of progress. This one doesn't have the same sense of serendipity that you had before, but most of it is because you now understand what you're doing a little bit better. It's a small step forward, but what you sit there and say is that you're a little bit about the quarter of a way there, which after 2 days you're kind of impressed with yourself.
Definitely ahead of the game.
Let's go kill us some dumbasses.
All right, so the party is together. You have 3 particular areas of interest. You have Krachik to the west. You have the drowned ruins of Berez to the south-southwest. And then Ardina Vostalt. That is probably the most windy trek to the southwest.
Which letter is Arkina Vossal again?
Q.
Q, and then Berez is U, correct?
Berez is U, and then Krachik is S. Based off of what the recon of the Were-Ravens said, is that they have a little bit more concern over your success at Berez than they do Krachik.
I think Krachik is probably a good place to start.
All right. And then what's...
Yeah, I'm not too much of a big fan of drowned ruins with the height disadvantage and all.
Mhm.
Okay. So as you guys begin to set out, now I get to make some rolls, see what happens. That works out.
Badasses and we kill everything.
All right. Everybody list their passive perception.
12.
17.
17.
I'm fucked.
14.
16.
Harrigan, I just want to make sure I heard you right. You said 14?
Yes.
All right. Everybody was able to easily hear rustlings throughout the path, but nothing is openly attacking. Nothing looks like it is trying. Like it's not like the werewolves when you're getting to Valakai. It looks like they're just scouting you out. And then Hagrid, I'd like you to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Seven.
All right, we'll move on. As you guys pass over, you get to the bridge. Based off of the map you look, you're right over the Luna River. This looks like it once was sort of stationed as a military outpost for a supply line, but it is absolutely deserted right now. Looks like just based off of how everything's gone. This hasn't been guarded in over 100 years. There's overgrowth growing between the stone pieces of the bridge. Just looks structurally it looks fine, but it just looks like there's a lot of overgrowth. Anything that you guys want to do while there?
Sorry, where are we?
I did not hear any of that, buddy. Sorry.
Where are we?
Hmm?
I missed a lot of stuff. Where are we right now?
On
So
the road to Kraychik.
Yeah, you're right on top of the Luna River, just west of Valakai. You're currently on what looked to be a supply line installment that has not been covered in about 100 years, and there's a lot of overgrowth. You're hearing people follow you, but nothing's looking aggressive towards you right at this time.
Are they actually people, or do they just sound like people?
It's probably whatever Strahd has trying to follow us and know our whereabouts all the time.
Alright, let's go stab whatever's following us with silver.
Alright, so make an investigation check to see if you can find that stuff out.
Alrighty.
As I go make a new map.
How about a 23?
Alright, we're going to start a 5-minute break real quick because you found it. As you sit there and look around, you end up seeing what looks to be the spitting image of Strahd. The only difference is that its clothing is different, and instead of it being like a royal purple with gold inlay, this is kind of a maroon color, and there's no inlay. As you sit there and discover it, and then as you turn to your right, you find another Strahd.
I
And
should
this
probably
one's-
poke him with sticks again.
As you poke and you reach for the kneecap, you have a definite feeling of a stick reaching a kneecap.
Hey guys, they have kneecaps. We can kill
And a
these
second
ones.
Strahd comes in. And
I
as you
can
turn
try
your
dispelling
left,
magic.
a third Strahd comes in. And as you
Yeah,
begin to
that's
look
about
around, you see 7 individuals all looking to be Strahd.
Well, somebody's
Okay.
a big coward if he has this many stand-ins.
So, let me build this map because I was expecting you guys to do this. And in 5 minutes, we'll start the battle.
Okie
Watch it be like when we fought those vampires in Acre that turned out to be homeless people. Maybe it's like a seeming spell or something like that, and it's just like, I don't know, scarecrows that have been made to look like Strahd.
That, I was planning on casting dispel magic right off the bat, but
I'm on board with that. We
Yeah.
at least proved they're real this time.
So we're in agreement. It's weird that they all look like Strahd.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And we already know the cult is willing to use hobos for nefarious means beyond just...
Did you say the cult?
Septuplets run in the family? The Strahd family?
Did you say the cult? Like,
Yeah, probably. Cut me some slack. I got like 3.5 hours of sleep.
no, it's just funny because it's just blending things together. Not busting chops, just
You
enjoying.
D&D on 3.5 hours of sleep.
I'll D&D on no hours of sleep. I'll D&D till I die.
And with an angry wife lady.
This seems unnecessary, guys. To
Watch, it ends up being like the Order of the Were-Raven following us. They just wanted to look like Strahd because they're less likely to get attacked.
But their trick is turning into ravens, not turning into vampire replicas.
Doesn't mean they don't have magic beyond turning into ravens.
oh my god, I need to buy a mouse because this whole left click, right click thing is killing me.
I'm gonna start a new hashtag trending. It's gonna be called Tony Factor.
Yeah.
There go two
At least
pages.
at least you played into my notes that I was eventually going to do, as opposed to me just having to not do it. Party. Copy that.
So, yeah, that is the upside. We're at least in the notes this time instead of there go 2 pages.
I'll bring those pages back. Don't worry too much about that. Now to bring you guys to the page.
It's gonna end up being Strahd when we finally run into him in person going, who the hell pokes people with a stick?
Oh,
Don't worry about that notification, Jay. That was just me tweeting. It's a 5-minute break while you build a combat map to account for the hashtag Tony Factor.
yep. All right, so you guys should be on a blank page. There's a rectangle which represents the path that you guys are currently on.
Nope.
I'm in a forest.
Yep.
I'm in like a large forested area. There
Nah,
we go.
All right. So, Tony, I'm moving you to right there to account for the fact that you're investigating. Go ahead and move AS to wherever you'd like.
Is just
As
gonna
far as the
battle-
remainder of the party, you can sit there, arrange yourselves as long as you're on the path.
Pick it up.
And then at this point, we'll have you roll initiative.
Initiative. Oh, Jesus. I hate my life. This is where I want
13.
advantage. 12.
We're on with that.
Oh, excuse me.
Ooh. All right. Okay. And its initiative bonus is... Oh, snap. Okay, that's a lot. 12 plus... Okay, so we'll start off 25 to 20. Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Okay, 15 to 20.
Wow.
All right. 10 to 15.
13.
12.
10.
Who said 10?
Tony.
Okay, 5 to 10.
7.
All right. Then in the meantime, I'm just going to roll for Leovan.
Okay.
Leovan is dexterous, so I'm going to imagine he's at +4, and that puts him at 16. Which means that Leovan is first to act.
Holds till the end of the round.
Yeah, that's what he'll do. Is he's just gonna prepare spike growth unless he comes in and tells me differently, and then he'll try to sit there and oh, come on, mouse. He's gonna try to get over this area to at least give you guys a border to go back to. Then it'll be the vampire of Strahd's turn. This one is going to make 1d20 plus 61 to hit. Seems like it doesn't make sense.
Am I injured?
Leovan, you back?
Yes.
You were first to act.
Okay.
Man, look at that giant backpack that Crispin's got on.
Mm-hmm.
I think for story continuity, we have to strap the bag of holding to Crispin now.
No, he's just got a big sack on his back.
All right, Leovan, you're up. What do you want to do?
I done this in forever. Hunter's Mark.
All right, which one would you like to Hunter's Mark?
This guy that's closest to me.
All right. So this guy that's closest to you has been marked.
Then I'm going to arrow him.
Going to what? I'm sorry?
Shoot him with an arrow.
All right. Silvered or regular arrow?
These are vampires, right?
Yep.
Silvered.
All right. Go ahead and roll to hit.
It's a 24.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
And then I get to roll this guy. For 10 piercing.
Okay. And based off of that, go ahead and roll Hunter's Mark damage as well.
Okay. 6. That is a 5.
Okay.
Here.
So that's another 5. As you sit there and release the arrow, you just, as it comes through, you hit right into the neck of the vampire, and it just, you hear the sound of just searing. Like, you know when you've got a hot skillet and you just slap this, like the raw steak down, that sound? That's what's coming by. And the silver there definitely makes it seem like it is doing a shit ton on that guy. He doesn't look comfortable. What do you do next?
The Hunter's Mark counts as one of my, or is that my bonus?
That's your bonus action. So if you have multi-attack, it doesn't affect anything.
Sweet. And I don't have time to switch, so I'm going to then shoot at this guy.
Shoot at that guy? Okay. Roll a hit.
Ew. Critical fail.
All right. You just sit there, and as you go through, you didn't notch the arrow at all, and the arrow just stays in your hand as you release the bow, and just look and say, huh. All right. I'm not a druid right now. But keep the arrow. Next up is Spawn's turn.
Did you say Spawn?
Yeah, Spawn, the evil bad guy. I'm going full Spider-Man right now. 3, 4, and we'll make an attack there, but we'll just finish the moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of closing it in. 4. All right, so we have 3 attacks right now. We'll go 1 to Crispin, 1 to AS, and 1 to Tony. Tony, we're going to go for you first. And that
You
is
poked the DM.
the first one is an 11, which I don't think hits.
I'm going to agree with you. An 11's not gonna hit.
And then the next one is a 14.
It is not gonna hit.
Okay, we're moving to AS next. Natural 20
Well, that's not
and natural 2, so that's 1 to hit. And then Crispin, you're 2. That is a adjusted 20 to hit. And adjusted 23 to hit.
Both will hit.
All right, so for AS, no damage is going to happen due to the critical hit. Instead, he's going to attempt to grapple. So AS needs to make a athletics check.
So strength plus, or yeah, a d20 plus strength modifier, right?
Yes.
That is a 14.
14 is just enough. As he sits in and tries to sit there and grapple the mechanical beast, AS just decides to like spread open his wings and breaks the grapple attempt. Nothing happens. The first attack, which is going to be, we're going to start off with 8 slashing damage towards you, Crispin, and then the second one is going to try to grapple as well, so make an athletics check.
That's 15 plus 5, 20. Adjusted 20.
Yeah, you were able to just sit there and put your hand on the face of this Strahd-looking jackass, and the arm just kind of and just passed right through, like in front of you. Nothing happens.
Nice. What did you say the damage was on the first one?
It would be 8 slashing.
Chubs.
That brings us to Crispin up next.
Alright. Shoot. I was going to dispel magic, but seeing as they're coming straight at us, I don't think it matters. We know they're not the real Strahd, or assume they're not.
You know what? Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Intelligence
Okay.
or Arcana, whichever one you prefer.
Well, either way, the natural roll is a 4, so I don't think it's going to do much.
You sit there and you know that something's up. However, after watching The Prestige a couple of times, you don't know if Strahd's just a centuplet.
Alright, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic, then the one right in front of me then.
Okay. Let me read.
It's any. My understanding is any spell level 3 or under is automatically dispelled. Then anyone 4 or higher is a DC of 10 plus whatever level spell it is.
Yeah, because I know you're going to need to roll. I just need to know what the DC is.
Yeah, I think it's 10 plus whatever level spell I'm going up against.
Yeah.
And my spellcasting charisma.
And I have to make sure I know what the target is on this.
That guy right there.
Yeah, go ahead and roll plus your spellcasting modifier.
Alrighty. That's a 7 plus 3, 10.
As you sit there and you focus your energy on sure that there's a spell going on there, because the odds of Strahd having 6 identical twins is very, very low. You go through, the magic just peters out of your hand, and it has no effect.
Okay.
And that is your action.
Alright.
By the way, what level did you cast that at?
That was just a level 3.
Okay. Yep.
And then, alright.
You still have your bonus and your movement.
Yep. Any movement's gonna provoke an opportunity of attack, though, where I'm at, right?
Considering where you're at is you won't truly leave melee range of either of those. If you move towards any of them, if you move...
Could I move diagonally to here?
You'd provoke one, yes.
I'm going for it.
All right. Let's see. That's a natural 4, so no, it's not going to hit you.
All right, and then from here, I'm going to use my bonus, or my I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave at the first level.
All right.
Which is 2d8 in a 15-foot cube.
Sounds good. So you'll hit those 3 and just miss Haggard. Go ahead, and I need to make. Is it Constitution? What's the saving throw?
Constitution, and I think it is 14. Yep, it's 14.
So there's natural 4. There is 12, and what was their Constitution modifier? Dual screens. Oh, so fun. So we have a fail, we have a save, and we have a fail. So the one right here will not get, or this one right here won't get pushed back, but the other 2 will.
Perfect. All right, and that does 2d8 damage, which is 13.
2d8 damage. So 2 takes half rounded down. Where did I put my flipping pencil? So that's 6. You said 13?
Yep.
And 69. All right. And then you've used your move. You're done with your turn then, yes?
Yep, I am done.
Lucian, you're up next.
All right. I will move here. Am I able to set up a flank here with Aes?
Based off... Because he tried to grapple Aes during this, I would sit there and say his attention is occupied, and I'd say yes in this case.
Okay. So I'm going to attack him with my Dagger of Venom. It's a natural 20.
That will naturally hit.
Okay, so that's 2d4, and then what's my sneak attack? 4d6. Okay. All right, big bucks, no whammies. That is 19, so 38 plus 5, so 43 damage.
Holy spit, dude. You said 45?
43.
43, okay. As you come in with the dagger, you're able to find right into its backside. It writhes in just absolute searing pain. And it kind of turns around and just goes, you. But it sounds nothing like Strahd.
All right. So I'm going to use my bonus action then to use my offhand strike to hit him with my Dagger of Flame Tongue. Okay. I'm going to flip it over in my hand and try to dig it into his right in between his sternum and his neck.
All right.
His clavicle and his neck. Sorry.
By the way, did you double your sneak attack damage as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Go for it.
Okay. All right. That's probably not going to hit because that is a 16.
16 does hit.
Oh, nice. All right. So then that's just 2d4 plus 1. And that's 8 more damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to kind of hop away from him over there.
Perfect. Yeah, you do that. you're able to like dig it right into his chin, and you can see the dagger go through all the soft tissue. And as he sits there and screams, there's just it pierced his tongue a little bit. He, if you wanted to get one of those like tongue studs, he can now. And that's your end of your turn.
Yep.
Tony, you're up. Hagrid, you're after Tony.
Hagrid was before me. He had a 13. I had a 12. Or no, Hagrid had a 12. I had a 10.
I have Lucian at 12, Tony at 10, Hagrid at 7.
Oh,
So,
I'm all kind of out of whack. Okay. I'm gonna hop it right there. And the one that Laven went after, I'm going to Thundermonger shooty him. Or at least attempt.
This one that I just moved accidentally when trying to highlight, that's the one.
This one, down here.
Okay, that's Lucian, not Laven.
Ah.
So you're going to Thundermonger that cat?
Let's see if I
Roll
can
to
hit
hit.
him. I don't think I'm going to hit, because I rolled a total of 9.
It's nice
You
to
get
see some things
advantage
never
because
change.
because of AS. I would imagine that you guys have discussed tactics enough in order to get advantage.
Alright, let's try again then. How about a 23?
23, unsurprisingly, will blow his brains out. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, so I get 4d6.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 11, 14, plus 2, total of 16 damage.
16 damage. Okay. And I'm trying to remember, your cannon technically counts as a magical weapon, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you do that, and you now blew off a little bit of his skull. You can see the twitching vampire brain inside there. He screams. Once again, doesn't sound anything quite like Strahd. It sounds a little bit more like Commander Zavala from Destiny.
Alright, as usual, my bonus action, I'm gonna reload it, but I want to throw in some of my silver pieces into the barrel as well.
All right, very good. And that's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Hagrid, let's go.
I guess I'll cast Flame.
You cut out, I'm assuming Sacred Flame?
Sacred Flame at the guy who's in front of me.
All right. And this dexterity saving throw here that I need to make is a natural 2. So go ahead and let's see here. Roll your 2d8.
That's 10 radiant damage.
Yeah, as you sit there and hit with the radiant damage on there, it begins to just writhe in just the magical holy light. It does way more than you're expecting.
All right, then for my action, I'd like to try to hit him with my sword.
All right, is that just a regular sword, or what particular? Was that a magical sword?
It's just regular.
Okay.
I think didn't we have one of Hagrid's weapons blessed though? They only had the energy to bless one thing, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't remember that.
It was 4 months ago, so we're just going to count it as blessed. And Laven, you have 9 silver arrows remaining,
Cool.
including the one that's in your hand, because you forgot to knock it.
It's been a while.
Yep. So go ahead and roll to attack then.
That's a natural 20.
That will naturally hit.
And that's 9 slashing.
That's doubled.
18.
18. So There we go. And then do me a favor, roll an extra 46 radiant damage from the blessing.
Jesus. Literally.
Mhm.
13.
13 on top of that, which gets doubled because it's undead. Math. All right. As you sit there and you slash on that first attack with the vampire, you connect. You can feel it just wedge right in between two of the bones in his cervical spine, and it just comes through. And as you slash down, the blessing then just shows this holy light of the Morning Lord, and this vampire, it looks like it's on its last legs.
All right.
I believe you have another attack.
I do.
Yeah, because you have multi-attack, right?
No, clerics don't have that one.
No, that's...
All right, so you've used your bonus. You've used your attack. Anything else you want to do?
Nope.
All right. Levin, you're up. Back to the top of the round.
All right. Is my arrow still like lodged in this guy?
Yes.
I want to try to pull it out.
All right. Go ahead and roll a melee attack.
Well, I rolled a 13. I don't know if I've ever done a melee.
Just add your athletics modifier to it, since you're just trying to sit there, grab, and pull.
+3, so 16.
Yeah, that you are able to grip on and begin to pull. What are you trying to attempt with this?
I want to stab him with it now.
So you just want to drive it in further?
Well, I want to pull it out and then stab him again.
Okay, so this would technically, like, you're able to successfully pull out the arrow. You flip it over so that it's not like a makeshift dagger, and then roll another athletics check to see if you can, like, if he's able to dodge it.
Natural 20.
Yeah, that naturally hits. Holy shit, guys. So go ahead and move your character closer to that vampire you're trying to attack. I believe it was this one right here.
Yep.
And then, based off of the arrow, I'd say roll 1d4 plus your strength modifier, just because the speed isn't the same as firing out of the bow.
Okay. It's a 3, and my strength is 0.
So that will do 6 damage because the critical hit, doubled to 12 because of the silver tip.
And do I hunter's mark or no?
Yeah, go ahead and hunter's mark that.
4.
Okay. That was
some vengeful shit right there.
But unfortunately, that does take like the action of both of your attacks. Since,
yeah.
But you know what? Because you had to pull it out, it had to go through some tissue. Roll again, just to see how much damage you took, or it took you trying to pull it out.
Roll what?
1d4 plus your strength.
4.
All right, so that's 8 damage for you to just pull it out with no real care in the world about how much pain you're inflicting on him.
Cool.
And that guy is looking a little worse for wear, but not as bad as the guy Hagrid just, like semi-decapitated. Anything else you'd like to do?
That is it.
All right, and that brings us down to the vampires again. Let's see here. We're going to close down now. We got that bad boy. That bad boy. Why do I keep right-clicking things? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, That'll be fine. So we're going to have, on this case, 2 attacks on Crispin, Hagrid, Laven, and Aeus, and 4 attacks on Tony. And Tony, the reason why is because you keep on ruining their illusions. So we'll start with Tony to get that out of the way. That is a what's their strength on this? 6. Okay. 16 to hit.
My armor class is a 16.
All right. So 1 hits. That's a natural 4, so it'll miss. Natural 2, that will miss. And then a 17, so 2 will hit on you. We'll go Ace next. Natural 19 and natural 2, so 1 will hit there. The 2 that hit you, Tony, will equate to 16 slashing damage.
All right.
And then Ace is going to be grappled again. Make a strength save or strength check, athletics check.
An athletics check.
Yes.
All right. That is a 16 plus 3, so 19.
Yeah, so once again, a bad idea the first time that vampire did it. Just as bad the second time. It turns out mechanical wings extend and can ruin grip strength. Then we're going to go Laven next. That's a 15 to hit.
I'm a 16 AC.
Perfect. And a natural 20. And this one is going to do... This will be 16 slashing damage to you.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go 2 to Hagrid here. 17 plus 6, 23 to hit. And a 14.
The 14 misses, but the other does.
All right, that's 8 slashing damage. And then we're going to go 2 to Crispin. Natural 20 on the first, 17 on the second.
Man, they both hit.
All right, the first one will be 16 slashing damage, and the second one is going to attempt to grapple you, so an athletics check to break free.
7 plus 5, 12.
Unfortunately, that's just enough for him to sit there and bear hug your half-orc. You feel like it had to dislocate its elbows in order to do so, but it got its way around you, and your arms are pinned to your side. You're now considered grappled.
Okay.
All right. That will end the spawn's or the vampire's turn. We're now up to Kristen.
All right. I will attempt to break the grapple.
All right. Make your athletics check, as dislocated elbows guy does too.
No,
That's
do a prison
17.
shank. Just stab him while you're hugging him.
You can't do that when you're grappled.
Yeah, and I only have a long sword, so that's gonna be kind of awkward.
I didn't say stab him with your long
That's like when you're gonna have. Yeah, that's like when you have to sit there and stab through yourself to get to the guy behind.
Try stabbing him with your short sword between your legs.
Okay, Harvey Weinstein.
That was a 17 on my athletics.
He rolled a natural 3, so you got it.
Nice, nice. And what is that? What is that considered? Action or bonus?
We're gonna call that your bonus action because I don't think it's truly an attack just to sit there and then abduct your shoulders.
All right.
It didn't take a lot.
I'm gonna cast Thunderwave at what level? At level 3.
All right, and I believe you'll hit 3 individuals here.
Perfect.
Yep.
And that's
That
14
would be-
Constitution.
Yeah, there'll be numbers 5, 6, and 7. Constitution saving throws at +4. That's a 10. That is a 16 on the middle, and that's an 18 on the third. So this guy right here, he's going to get blown back into Hagrid. And Hagrid, go ahead and take an attack of opportunity as you're just going to baseball swing at this vampire flying back.
3.
24 damage on the thunder. Yeah.
All right. What'd you roll, Hagrid?
Wait, that's with advantage. Sorry, I keep forgetting that. 15.
15 was just enough to do it. As the thunder wave kind of blows him back and you swing it towards him, you're able to get 90% of the neck
What?
decapitated, but you rent
You're not getting Assassin's Creed.
right down the middle of the strike zone. His lower body and his upper body have now had a clean dissection. Don't even worry about rolling damage on your attack because he's super dead.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And then the other two, which didn't get blown back, you said it was 24?
Yep.
Cool. So that goes down to 12. And then anything else?
I'm not sure how the home brew stuff works. Since I've already used my bonus action to break out my action to cast, I couldn't cast Bardic or give Bardic Inspiration right now, correct?
Not this turn.
Okay, then I resign.
Okay. So we've got one out of there. We'll go Lucian next.
All right, I'm gonna jump back up. Sorry.
Yeah. By the way, just as Hagrid would have easily noticed this, and then Crispin would as well, is as the recently deceased Strahd gets chopped in half, the illusion dispels. It comes down into a very nondescript, but still vampire-looking mofo. All the clothing has changed. It's just wearing rags right now.
Go of it and eat your food. If I have to say it one more time, you're going in timeout.
Yeah, just like that vampire we killed. But yeah, it's you now definitely know beyond shadow of a doubt there is an illusion at play here.
All right. Okay, so I'm stepping back up behind this vampire to stab him with my dagger of venom again.
All right.
That's going to be an 18 to hit.
18 will hit. Add sneak attack damage because that AS and tone.
Okay. I need another d6. There it is. Okay. All right. So that's 20 damage. Sorry, actually, 25 damage. I keep forgetting to add in my actual damage bonus.
Okay.
And then
You're able to get it right into the back of the neck. He drops down onto his knees, standing up. It looks like the will to continue this life is beginning to fade.
but he's still alive.
Barely.
Barely. Okay. Well, I'll hit him again then.
Mhm.
That's not gonna hit though. That's gonna be a 13.
13 does miss. You did not anticipate for him dropping to his knees, and you slice right where his head would have been, catching nothing but air.
Okay, and then I'll stay put this time.
Okay. Tony.
Alright. I'm going to... So do we just want to have AS run my initiative because we forgot to roll for him?
Yes.
Alright.
You mean you forgot to roll for him?
I'm going to have
That's on us.
AS multi-attack that guy.
Go for it.
Alrighty. That was a 3.
3 might hit some creatures, won't hit this one.
Alright. Dumb bird. Then as Tone, going to shoot the one that...
You did multi-attack with AS, you said.
Oh, yeah. I did even better this time. I got a 2. We're going low number, right?
Yes, your golf score is going great. This battle is not. Tony, you're up.
Stupid bird. Alright, so shooting same one with silver coin loaded cannon.
This one right here?
This one, yes. And I
Cool.
rolled a 19.
That hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Boop. I rolled a total of 7.
Yeah, you find out that shotgun scanner with silver is enough to really blow this guy to smithereens. I would describe how he fell, but there's not a big enough piece to really describe it. He's just in shambles.
All right, reloading with silver bits again.
All right. That brings us to Hagrid to close out the round.
All right. I think I'll move over to that guy there since he doesn't
Number 6.
seem to have anybody bothering him yet. And once again, use the cantrip Sacred Flame.
Go for it. Which means I need to make a dex saving throw. That will be a 16.
And that will make it.
All right. So unfortunately, we won't get to do damage that time, but you still have your main action.
And I will slash at him with my sword.
Go for it.
And that's an adjusted 23.
Adjusted, connected.
And that is 11 slash damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still get to use the Blessed Weapon.
Yeah, so that's 11 slashing damage. We'll bring him down to that, and then 46 for radiant damage.
And that's 18 radiant.
Double to 36. Math. I said 36, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You ever, like, you know when you, like, put a hot knife through butter? That's exactly the feeling Hagrid gets going through this vampire. Yeah. So that, anything else you want to do?
No.
All right. That brings us to the top of the round. Laven, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna switch to my rapier and stab at the guy next to me.
All right. Roll your regular attack.
19 to hit.
19 definitely hits.
Not great damage though. That's 6 piercing
Okay.
and 6 from my hunter's mark.
And you know what? That's all that you needed to do.
Sweet.
You rolled exactly what you needed to do to kill that mofo.
Just like I planned it.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
Move my hunter's mark to this guy.
You successfully do so, and I believe that consumes your bonus action.
Yes.
But he is marked.
And then I'm gonna run that way.
Perfect. Anything else?
Can I stab him still?
You've only made one attack, correct?
Yeah.
Then yes, you can.
21 to hit.
Certainly hits.
5 piercing and 4 from the hunter's mark.
So 5 plus 4. All right. At this point, you guys all just begin to hear a voice that goes, "That's enough." And everybody here is going to use Misty Step in order to get away from you guys. Or at least before they're still alive. Laven, you know exactly where the one you hunters marked is, just in the back of your mind. Your tracking skills on point thanks to the spell. And then, where is Rahadin in this? We'll use that. Rahadin just kind of steps out from, from here and just goes, "I feel there's no use in continuing to waste your time. So, we'll leave our fallen just right here. Continue on, just know that we are watching. Know that we know you a little better now."
And know that we know you better, too.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Crispin Basilieri. The world's greatest half-bard, or half-orc bard.
If he has
Perhaps
to
the
ask,
only one, but the greatest one.
Half bard, all lover.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
With a slight possible drug problem.
In
Well,
another
the problem
life,
is he doesn't have
perhaps.
enough. Yeah, at this point, Rahadin just teleports away. And we'll go... Yeah, anything you guys want to do here, investigate before you get back in the cart and on the road.
Raid corpses.
like I want to see if my arrow is still usable.
Roll survival check for that.
Survival 17.
Yeah, you're able to successfully extract your arrow, and it is in perfectly usable condition. Tony did a real great job making those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can we see like how they were transformed to look like Strahd?
As they've dropped, the illusion seemed to have dropped as well. Go ahead and roll investigation. You guys can make 3 attempts for each of the corpses that you have dropped. If they haven't yet turned into mist.
I got a 26.
As you look on the belt line, it appears that there is the belt buckles on there look way fancier than the rest of its clothing. And as you put your hands towards it, you know that there's an arcane touch. As you spend a couple of minutes to focus on it, you know that there is some sort of illusion magic imbued to it, but you're not quite sure specifically what spell, just limitations of your own knowledge of the arcane. However, if you had someone in the party with arcane knowledge, they could probably get a little bit more information than what you would have.
Someone who knows a little bit about spellcasting should probably take a look at these belt buckles. They have, I'm not really sure what, but they have some sort of magic in them, and I think it's how they're transforming their image.
I'll take a look at the one over by us.
Alright, roll Arcana with advantage.
Ooh. I rolled an 11.
With the advantage?
With the advantage, I rolled a 5 and a 7.
Alright, the good news here is based off of your arcane knowledge, you've heard so much about these enchantments. So the item is enchanted with a spell called Programmed Illusion. Essentially, it allows them to move, and because they weren't trying to fake anything other than the clothing, it'd be very, very hard to discern that it was an illusion. This is a high-level illusion spell. You heard about it back at the Gnome Academy before it blew up, but you didn't know anybody at the Academy who successfully mastered that spell.
Alright guys, there's a illusion enchantment on these things that basically makes them appear as Strahd in form, but that's about all. So we might want to steal these. They'll be useful down the road.
Yeah.
If we put them on, do we look like Strahd then?
Not at the moment because it requires attunement.
Okay.
But
Steal all 3.
what you get? Yeah, you guys now have 3 belt buckles of Programmed Illusion.
All right.
Can we
Recipe
take
to
their
split the party.
faces?
What's up?
Can we take their faces, or does that not really do anything?
I mean, knowing what you know about vampires, is you certainly can, and be Dwight on the CPR episode of The Office, but it will turn into mist and head back towards Castle Ravenloft still.
Okay.
How much do those weigh, Jay, so I can stick them in the bag of holding for us?
They'll all be just a shade over 1 pound each. We'll just call it 1 pound.
Okay.
Since they're buckles and not the belt itself.
Alright, they're in the bag of holding.
Yep. Alright, then as you continue on, you're able to make the rest of the trek. Let's see, your R is Raven River Crossroads. Yeah, you're able to make it to Kraychik without further incident.
How many days does it take?
2 days.
Is Tony able to make those tinkering checks while we're on the road?
Oh, you certainly can.
Sweet.
All right, I'll roll 2 of those then.
1.
1.
Yeah, because you already rolled before you started the journey.
Oh yeah, that gives me an 86, so 43.
All right. You feel very, very confident with the work that you did that day. You'd say you're about halfway done.
Don't worry, we're getting there.
Yep. So, for those of you who are on the map, you should see like a small city that has basically nothing inside it. And then if you go all the way to the southernmost portion of the map, you'll find the party. And now I finally get to open the Curse of Strahd book.
So would it be safe to say that on our day's journey we rested up?
Yes. You guys would be back to full health and spells.
Perfect.
So we're at Krachik. This is Krachik.
This is based off of the map and based off of the survival and orienteering skills of your ranger. You believe this is Krachik. As you get to the kind of the junction where the path, where you would end up turning north into the city as opposed to just staying on Old Sablets Road. You see that the road branches north and climbs a rocky escarpment, ending at a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone reinforced with buttresses about every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the side of the snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see tops of snow-covered pines and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from a stone abbey that clings to the mountainside, high above the settlement, well into view. The steady chime is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and deathly silence and oppressive fog to which you have grown accustomed to. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there seems to be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up the walled settlement and into the abbey where the bell is tolling.
And we can see the abbey from where we are up to the northeast there?
Yes. You see that it's kind of like it's an aged building. It doesn't look like it's in the best of repair, but it clearly looks like it's inhabited. And based off of kind of what you're looking at, it looks like you're not quite sure if it used to be a monastery or a hospital, but you know that it had some sort of well-established purpose in the city. And then as you turn north, you get towards the gatehouse, and as you climb up through the couple of switchbacks and get to the gatehouse, you notice that the air grows colder as you approach the walled settlement. 2 square towers with peaked roofs flank the stone archway, which is set with a pair of 12-foot-tall, iron-bound wooden doors. Carved into the arch above is the name Krachik. The walls that extend the gatehouse are 20 feet high. Atop the parapet, you see 4 figures wearing fur hats and clutching spears. They watch at you, not saying a word, but clearly nervous.
And that's all the way up the switchback path?
That is specifically right here. So off camera, or in this case, there is a single switchback which you had to climb with the carriage about 200 feet up, but it was kind of an easy drive. And that's just enough for you to notice that there is a temperature change, and you end up losing view of the town itself because of the angle where the walls are, since they're 20 feet high. So there's 4 individuals, 2 in the left tower, 2 in the right tower, just kind of looking at you. They grip their spears a little bit. The 2 in the back drop their spears and pick up bows. They haven't knocked an arrow or anything. They're just side-eyeing you a little bit. Eventually one kind of gulps, visible gulp, and just goes, "Excuse me, who are you?"
I step forward. I kind of hold my hands up in a non-threatening gesture. Say, I'm Lucian, and this is my adventuring party, and we're seeking entry to the Abbey of St. Marcovius.
Why do you want to go up there?
We've been led to believe that perhaps someone that can help us resides there.
No, we dispel evil in a permanent sense.
What?
Bad things go bye-bye when we're around.
Well, I mean, we've had our fair share of bad things, and they don't come when you weren't around either. Look, just
That's how
give
good
me a
we
moment.
are.
We'll get the Burgomaster, and we'll see if there's something we can do. Just wait out here for a bit. As you see, this female archer sets down her bow, and she quickly runs out from this guard post. You lose sight of her, and about 30 minutes go by, and then she comes back, and there's this old, beardless dwarf that comes up. His skin is kind of like a bluish gray, not quite like the Awoken in Destiny, but close. He ends up just looking over, and he just kind of sees you guys and goes, "Excuse me. You state your business here."
Acquire allies, make bad things go bye-bye.
So
entirely vague, I'm not going to believe a single word you said.
What my associate, Mr. Hobar, means is we've been led to believe that someone who can help us in our struggle to defeat Strahd is in the Abbey, or is here, and we're hoping to actively recruit them to our cause.
You're telling me that you're in direct opposition to Strahd?
Yes.
Well, allow me to share a little bit of information here about Krejcik. We've survived by staying out of his sight, by not making problems for him. We don't want any business with him, so that he doesn't need any business with us. That's why we're walled up higher. That's why we have forests within our city. We don't escape these walls, and we don't open them up for anybody, no matter how they're related to Strahd. You need to tell me a very good reason why I need to open these doors to you, and you need to tell me now.
Because we can make it so you don't have to live behind walls in fear anymore of some asshole in a castle who thinks he's better than you.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
I'm very.
How many are there in front of us right now?
There are 4 guards and then the burgomaster of the town.
Okay, so 5 total, so I cannot charm all of them.
I got an 11.
He just looks at you and just says, "How the hell does somebody as tiny as you pose any threat to anyone ever?"
So, can I pull the battering ram out of my bag of holding?
You certainly can try.
Hang on a second, Tony. Hang on, and I put my hand across Tony's arms. Look, you say that you don't allow anyone in your walls. However, we know that someone who seeks to oppose Strahd has come here very recently. So how can you bar us, a group of strong adventurers, and this gnome with a giant gun, from your city and allow this person to enter?
If what you're saying is correct, I don't believe it to be correct. But if it is, then they're a much better liar than you guys are.
I'm really tempted to just have AS plop me on the other side of the wall and go, there, problem solved. Just so you guys know. I think the only one you can't carry is Hagrid.
I can turn someone invisible.
I'm just going to put this out here. There's a very important question you guys are forgetting to ask right now.
I don't know any names.
That name does not matter.
Oh, wait, maybe?
Think of the book, How to Make Friends and Influence People.
Stroke his ego. Lie to him to their face.
How
Yeah,
can we
I don't know
help
what
you?
book you're reading, Mike.
I put my hands out in front of me in a sort of open position as like a gesture of honesty. Like, look, they may have come here and deceived you and allowed themselves passage into your walls, but I come here open and honest of what I'm doing and what I strive to achieve.
He's going to roll an insight check against you. And he rolled a natural 20, so based off of what I know and not the character knows, he now knows that you're of honest intent. He just looks at the guard and puts his hand down. He signals to something that a little bit off view from you, and he goes like, "You don't need to sound the alarm." Lucas, right? That's your name?
Talking to me?
Yes.
Lucian.
All right, Lucas. Here's the deal. We'll open the doors, but do not consider yourselves welcome here. Get in, you take what you need, you don't interrupt anybody in here, and you get out. If there's so much as a scuffle in here, I will make sure that you guys do not leave the city alone.
Hear that, Tony?
It's the best we can do. You agree to those terms.
All right, I will avoid scuffles and start shenanigans.
No, go play.
Somebody
Maybe
just
a hoopla.
carefully-
Did somebody deal with this asshat?
Wait, when did we start making hats out of asses? Is this a new fashion I'm unaware of?
And I'm gonna polymorph Tony into an asshat.
Tony, are you willing to be changed into an asshat?
Yes, because then I can produce farts out of wherever the asshat portion is.
Alright, you literally become an asshat, and it's because you have no legs, you are stationary.
I would like to cast Cloud of Stink.
You are not able to do that because you have no spells due to being an asshat.
I'd like to try.
You certainly can roll a d20 to see if you successfully do so.
With disadvantage?
Sure, because it's not like you can do it. I'm just...
How about a 12?
Yeah, you sit there, you try, but no.
Asshat turns bright red and nothing happens.
No, just nothing happens.
I walk over, I pick Tony's bare ass up off the ground, I place it on top of Crispin's head, I say, "There, you're in charge of him for right now." I turn back to the Burgomaster and I say, "Because you have something that we think we need, we'll agree to these terms."
Don't make me regret this, as he signals for the iron doors to be open. And over the course of the next 90 seconds, it looks very, very... it takes a long while. You begin to look around. You begin to see that Hagrid and Leovan make perception checks as you're looking around the walls.
23.
You both sit there and looking around the walls. You thought that this was something that was kind of heavily defended. 2 out of every 3 guards that you see posted there haven't moved at all throughout this entire exchange. You begin to realize that they're scarecrows. It looks like the town guard here is so poorly staffed based off of just being closed off for years that they're trying to do anything they can to make it look better defended than it is. And as you finish looking, the doors have opened enough so that you guys can walk through.
Does AS look too confused to follow the asshat that is now Tony?
He takes mental commands from me, so he'd follow all the same.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're an asshat and I have a brain now.
I don't think it's that big of a change, really.
I'll stop concentrating on the polymorph thing, but since I have a -1 intelligence, I will forget to take the asshat off first.
All right, Tony, make a acrobatics check to see how you fall off of his head.
18 plus 2, total of 20.
It is kind of spectacular, the amount of, like, you do a couple of flips and you land on your feet which, considering that you had to fall 5 feet in order to get there, you land standing up, and guess what? The German judge gives you a 6.8 for execution.
Woohoo! And as I depolymorph, I'm making farting sounds since I didn't have lips before.
You do so. So something new that we're going to try here is as you guys enter in the city, we'll just spend some time with you talking to random members of the town in order to learn about the town. So feel free to ask any questions. But things to know right now is the Mistrouted village beyond the wall is nothing more than a scattering of humble wooden cottages along dirt roads that stretch between stands of snow-dusted pine trees, so many, in fact, to constitute a forest inside the city. To the northeast, towards the abbey, gray cliffs rise sharply. The road winding up to the abbey is easy to see from the vantage point inside the town. And I'm sorry, I cut somebody off there.
So, any interesting structures that exist within this city?
There's a bunch of wooden cottages. They're kind of just put towards the southwest of the town. Here is where most of the cottages are. The largest one is right on this middle road here. Right about here on the map, if you're able to scroll out, you can see where I'm indicating. This largest town appears to be the burgomaster's house. What you notice is that there's cellar access to every house here. In the north, there appears to be a lake that the quality of craftsmanship on the wall around this is the highest at this point. Everything around the wall appears to be sort of cobblestone in makeup, but this one is flat out. It's the closest to concrete that you've seen.
Seems like they've realized the water is their weak point. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
So,
what? Is it just like a pond, a small lake in the town that is?
It is a small lake. As you guys sit there and come around, you find that even under gray skies, the pool at the north end of this village shimmers and sparkles. Near its shore sits an old gazebo on the verge of collapse. A wooden statue of a mournful, bare-chested man, its paint chipped and faded, stands at the gazebo with arms outstretched, as though waiting to be embraced. As you ask a couple of villagers about this, you find out that this is a statue that appears to be Saint Markovia.
Oh.
And then drawn onto the base of it just sits there and says Saint Markovia, harbinger of the morning lord.
Ain't that the reason we're here, to get a pointy stick?
It is?
No.
Or wait,
Based off of the reading of the notes is that there's an ally here to be found, not a pointy stick.
You're thinking of Berez to go find the bones of Saint. Is it Saint Andrews, or am I?
Saint Andrel. A-N-E-R-A-L.
Oh yeah, Strahd's got the pointy stick.
Now, you guys were implying that the person we were looking for was an outsider to this town that would have just gotten in. Do you guys know that for a fact, or?
That's what.
Yeah, we were at least told that it was a lone Vistiana wanderer.
And inferring from what the guard said, it's got to be somebody unfamiliar to the town. So let's ask the villagers if they've seen.
Yeah, they don't seem to get many visitors, so they should remember.
Yep.
Last thing I'll say before we continue on to asking about rumors of a stranger is that those of you with arcane knowledge, so Hagrid, Leovan, Crispin, and Tony, all notice that there is a small arcane element towards the water itself.
Investigate further.
Yes.
All right. How would you go about investigating?
Could I, as a ritual, cast Identify on the pond to figure it out?
You certainly can. As you spend the required time, I believe 10 minutes to ritual cast Identify, you sit there and you understand that there is sort of a restorative aspect to the water. It seems like this is St. Markovia, based off of asking around town. You learned was a doctor originally and ran the abbey as a hospital. And when there was the biggest resistance to Strahd, this was where those who were injured in the fight were patched up, where their diseases, their afflictions were treated. And you feel like the water here has some residual effect of the arcane medicine that took place here long ago.
Do we have
Gentlemen,
flasks we can fill up with?
well, before we fill it up, gentlemen, it's got some healing properties to this water. We should probably ask the town folks before we start taking from their water supply that's heavily defended.
Well, aren't you?
Seems magical in nature, because a whole bunch of possibly inbred, cloistered off individuals isn't something I want to fight.
That's the least asshat thing you've ever said, Tony.
Yeah.
learned his
As you
lesson.
begin to ask around town, you get the idea here is that nobody really cares. This is kind of they do everything they can to try to close off the economy as much as they can so they're self-sufficient. They know that taking a little bit of water isn't going to destroy their closed-off economy. They're not North Korea.
Do any of them have a barrel I could have, even a small one?
Hold on a second. I really got to use the restroom, so let's take a 5-minute break, guys. The energy drink is hitting me now.
Yeah, I don't want, a whole hills have eyes situation here.
I'm back.
Alright, yeah, I'm back.
Alright. I think we're the first two.
I got left.
Oh, okay.
All right, I have returned. Can we sound off for a bit?
No.
I think we've got we've got Hagrid, myself, and Crispin.
And
Sweet.
I call bullshit.
who are we waiting on?
I guess no one now.
All right, so as we get back into it, so we know, Tony is looking for a container in order to take some of the water. With a little bit of searching, a little bit of stealth, you're able to find a container that can hold about a pint that you don't think anybody's going to miss.
Okay.
We'll just call it a sealed tankard that can hold a pint.
We'll say that's about 2 pounds then.
Maybe a pound and a half.
And 1 pint. Healy water is what I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to go off of.
Correct.
Can I like scoop a handful and just like drink some now, see if I feel anything?
Yeah, absolutely. As you scoop in, there's a warmth that hits you. It's not like if you're drinking Fireball. It's a genuine like glow. There's a divine energy about it. Do you have any diseases or afflictions at this time?
No, I don't think so.
No? It just feels nice.
Like a sip of hot cocoa on a cold day?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no diseases that I see on my character sheet at least.
Yep. However, there's probably some scabs that look like they had minor inflammatory processes. They're healing over quite nicely.
Sweet.
So how can we tell exactly how powerful this is? Like what it can cure?
Based off of everybody else's information here is you definitely see drinking from this as a mixed bag because it will cure your addiction to blood.
Okay.
So you're sitting there, goes like, man, I want to feel nice, and then you look in your like congealed blood pouch and goes, but I want to have this. And you're just looking between the two and goes like, oh man. All right.
Hey Jay, really quick. In my notes, so I about the Vistiana Wanderer.
Yep.
In my notes, for some reason, I indicated that this is potentially a female. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I can just help narrow our search a little bit.
Yep. All right. Other things that you hear around town is that there's a little bit of melancholy about the town. The burgomaster, Dmitry Krechov, and his wife just lost their last surviving child and buried him about 4 days ago. Their ages make it look like it's way too late in life for them to have another kid, and the villagers around town have no idea who's going to take over leadership of the town now that the Krechov's bloodline is on its last days.
Yikes.
Well, they have no kids, and I have no parents, so this could work out.
Crispin, son of Krachik.
Crispin, future Batman. Let's see here. Other things you learn is that the Abbey was in fact once a hospital and a convent. And once the mist sort of came, because you're now on the westernmost portion, if you continue to travel west at all, you'd probably have to start making those fog saves again. And then once the mist kind of came in, it really limited the effectiveness of having a hospital out here.
So how is the Abbey used nowadays?
Some of what they sit there, the legends that they tell, because here's that nobody in the town goes up there anymore. What they say here is that the clergy there either died by the hand of Strahd, some others went mad and either died of starvation or they turned to cannibalism.
Ew.
The only thing that you know is it's almost a century ago, but not quite 100 years like the major battle. So it's a little bit more recent in your history timeline, is that there's there's somebody called the Abbot. Nobody knows his name. They just said that over, let's say 90 some years ago, said if he can enter into St. Markovia's Abbey, and they hear him, but they haven't seen him since.
Interesting.
Yeah. They just know that he sends individuals to ask for wine on occasion. If you press them to guess at what it is, they sit there and say, some believe that he's a servant to Strahd, others believe it's Strahd himself in disguise.
Well, we're pretty familiar with Strahd's disguises.
Mm-hmm.
Do the people around town seem scared or uneasy or anything, or just sad? Is it just like a general sadness? There's nothing behind it.
It's such an existential despair that you're having a hard time really figuring out the root cause of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some are uneasy because they don't know who the next leader is going to be. Some are uneasy simply because you're there.
Okay.
It's not based off of you being a half-orc. They've never seen a half-orc before. There's no preconceived notions. They just know you're not one of them.
Does the town seem like it's sort of aging out? Like, is that part of why they're short on guards and short on heirs?
It's not so much that they're aging out. It's that the amount of survivors, they end up having... They were close to an extinction event in the town because this was one of the main areas of the resistance 100 years ago. And there was maybe 20, 25 people that you would guess who survived because they stayed back. They were tending to the hospital. They were tending towards making sure that the war effort went well, and they survived. But it took a long time. Based off of what you've seen, based off the hours of the day, you'd sit there and say there's maybe 90 individuals in this town. But based off of the infrastructure that was built, you would have sat there and said at its height, there's probably 600 people who lived in this town.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
As far as like looking for a Vistiana goes, do we know them to have like any like markings or anything like that, or is it mostly just like their drab and their nomadic lifestyle that labels them as Vistiana?
So they end up having more of a, like, their hair typically has more of a like, it's thicker, it's usually curly, they're usually darker hair. Their drab or their color of clothing is not nearly as drab. There's a lot more vibrancy to it. These individuals typically show, like, have a much bigger personality because they have souls. There's never been a situation of some of these individuals are just soulless husks that perform tasks. They don't really feel much of anything. They don't really react to much. These individuals would act what you would just attribute as the random person in Akre would act like.
Hmm.
As you go about town, if you ask a handful of these questions, you find that they're not really speaking about Vistiana specifically. They've closed themselves off and don't really know too much about that, but they do speak of somebody who had a metal left leg.
Ooh, that sounds like a lead.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun.
What was that person doing in town? Like, were they asking questions like we are? What were they here for?
They just said that she just said that she needed to see the abbot.
Okay.
And we sat there. We don't mess with him because he hasn't messed with us, and we just sent her along her way.
And she hasn't come back?
Not to my knowledge.
How long ago did she head up there?
A while ago. I wasn't standing guard that day.
Like a 10-day, shorter, longer?
She comes and goes. The only time I ever really see her is when she comes in, orders a few drinks, tips well.
All right. Well, what do you think, guys? Should we head up to the Abbey and see about this abbot? Guys?
Might as well.
Think so, yeah. I
All
didn't think
right.
there's anything else before, but no, yeah. Let's do it.
All right. So as you begin heading towards the northeast here, getting closer to the Abbey, you find multiple switchback roads that you need to go up. The switchback road that hugs a cliff is about 10 feet wide and covered with loose gravel and chunks of broken rock. And the ascent is slow and somewhat treacherous, the air continuing to grow colder as one nears the top. As you sit there, and when you look at the end of this road here, it's uneventful, but as soon as you look down, you realize you're 400 feet higher now at the end of this road than when you started. You get to the north gate of the Abbey, and let's switch maps, everybody.
Yeah.
There we go. As you get here, I need to move you forward. You get to about right there, by the way. And there we go, you guys. And I'm moving your guard with you as well, ship. Yep, you guys are now at the north gate. The road from the village climbs above the mist to the wide ledge on which the Abbey is perched. The light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings to either side, which stretches a 5-foot-high, 3-foot-thick wall of jumbled stones held together with poorly made mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked at this time. Viewed through the gate, the stone abbey stands quiet. The two wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the roof, top up of the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing gray smoke at this time. And for you guys to know here, this direction right here will be north. So the north to south is inverted at this time.
Okay.
As you come in, go ahead and do what you're going to do.
Who are these people with lanterns?
They're guards, I believe. Wait, these people at the posts?
At this point, you don't see them.
Oh.
What's marching order right now?
I'll walk in front.
I got.
All right, Lucian, you're gonna have to try to move the iron gates in order to make sure everybody behind you can go. But you do have a Half-Orc and Goliath behind you. Make a stealth check to see if you're able to silently open up those gates.
Okay, what's my stealth? Oh, jeez. 11.
11. All right. You sat there and you sized everything up. You thought you knew exactly how far you could go before the rust on the hinges would make sounds, and you miscalculated a little bit. You get right before where you're going to stop. You just hear the screeching of the iron gate. And as you walk through, you just hear what sounded like snoring, and then someone quickly waking up. You see two individuals here. One of which is they're both humanoid in nature, but they're short. One's about 4'9", squats instead of standing upright. He looks like a beardless dwarf with patches of donkey flesh covering his face and body. He has one human ear and one wolf's ear, and protruding wolf snout and fangs. His arms and hands are human, but his legs and feet are leonine and has a donkey's tail. The other one is 4'7". The left side of her face is covered with lizard scales, and the right with tufts of gray wolf fur. Between these tufts is pale human skin. One of her eyes is feline, and her fingers resemble a cat's paws with opposable thumbs. She has wears a gray cloak with black fur trim in order to hide as many of these features as possible. They just kind of look at you and just go, "Huh, this is new."
I echo the same thing as I kind of put my hand out of sight behind my back, but on the hilt of a dagger on my belt.
Told you guys I didn't want a hills have eyes situation.
Should we just tell him we've come to see the abbot? Kirsten's gonna cast charm. I'm gonna cast charm on both targets.
All right. Do I need to make a save for that?
Let's see. It is a wisdom 14.
Yeah, knowing their stats, unless they roll a natural 20, they're not going to get that.
All right.
So we're just going to assume that it goes. They just kind of look at you. They don't necessarily stand taller, but their backs get a little bit more upright and just goes like, "Oh, welcome to the abbot.
We are looking for an Avistiana wanderer. She's been working with the abbot. We're companions of her. We come to help her with her work with the abbot."
Oh, has he?
Yes.
Yeah, she's here. You hear the one with like the dog snout trying to speak and say the same things that, but it just kind of sounds like donkey brain. He's trying his best. You charm the hell out of him. He wants to give you useful information, but there's some communication barriers.
Can I ask the lizard patchwork one, like, what sort of being they are?
Rude.
I've never come across anything like this, Laven.
Well, I mean, maybe they're like polymorphs who are really, really bad at it.
Bean, we're just Bellevues.
Sorry, what was that again?
Bellevues. Our family was the last one to sit here and work here in the hospital, and this is our life's duty is to protect this hospital.
He didn't understand your question, or she. Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about the abbot?
He sits there, he works, he doesn't break shit. Well, let's get back to what this guy's sitting here. It's like, you got something wrong with the way I look?
No, I've just never seen someone who appears to have been put back together in such a way.
Oh, okay, Smooth Skin. First off, fuck you.
Oh.
I thought they were charmed.
Not by you.
Roll an insight check.
Jesus, this dice going to jail. That would be a 9. Damn.
Still enough. Based off of your knowledge of charming like individuals, just through friendship duties, you know that someone's willing to work with you, but still has their self-image isn't necessarily affected by that. By just sitting there and saying, "What are you?" You kind of played into their self-consciousness about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. You also kind of know that the one you're talking to is a little bit mad, and not like angry, more like kooky.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Forgive my friend.
At this point, you guys all come in. There's no aggression whatsoever.
Okay. So can you point us towards our comrade?
Hey, no.
Yeah, she's in the Abbey.
Why don't you go put that in the closet where the Christmas
Just
trap was?
sit there, follow this road right here. You'll get inside.
Really?
You might want to speak to the abbot first. He's in this building right here, and it points in this direction.
Okay.
Okay. So we still have to head the same direction to get in there.
Mm-hmm. So when you're searching around here, it looks like this is the front door into the Abbey itself. as you get in, you see a 15-foot high curtain wall joins the Abbey's two wings between its south and north fixtures. Behind its battlements, two guards stand at attention, their features obscured by fog. Below them, set to the wall, is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque. As you guys get closer and you kind of wipe some of the tarnished copper, you sit there and read the words, "May her light kill," or "May her light cure all illness." As you get closer, you realize that the guards are once again popped up scarecrows. They're wearing corroded chain shirts and have rusty spears in their scarecrow hands. Right now, the doors don't appear to be locked.
All right.
Did you want to see the abbot first, or go straight to the wanderer?
Lucian, in order to move through there, go ahead and make a strength check to see how far you can move the doors, since they are heavy.
That's going to be a 1.
Yeah, you don't really move it too far on that attempt.
All right.
The mistake you made is you thought that this was a pull door when it's clearly a push.
I'll help you, buddy. I come over and help my best friend.
All right, go ahead and roll a strength check.
13 plus 2, 15.
All right, yeah, you were able to open the door quite easily, mostly because you decided to push a push door instead of pull it. But the doors are open enough where everybody can pass by pretty easily.
I think to myself, that's stupid. Why isn't there a sign? All right.
All you gotta do is look for hinges.
We need to go this way to go to see the abbot, if I remember correctly.
As you come in, the thick fog that fills the courtyard swirls as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall in which stand several guards with their backs to you, or at least it seemed at first. It's clear now that these guards are all scarecrows. There are no guards up here. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the Abbey's two wings. In the center of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch, to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron rings bolted to them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. This quiet is shattered by horrible screams coming from the sheds. So where you see each of these little dudes here is the location of a scream.
It's not like those 3 that are right next to each other.
Yeah, so the one that has the spider mandibles and bat's wings is this one right here. All the other ones are just, you don't see any visuals, you just hear screaming.
So what happens?
It's not necessarily pain screaming, it sounds more like just the screamings of a madman.
What happens when we approach Spider Mandible 1 who isn't in the closet like the rest of them?
You see, she begins to stand up. She's about 5 feet tall, has a wiry, spindly build. She has 3 red spider eyes on the right side of his face, while the left side appears completely human. He has a frog's foot in place of his left hand, and a talon crow's foot where his right foot should be. He just kind of looks at you, and just goes, "Well, hello there.
Hi.
You're quite an interesting find. I don't get to see too many like you anymore."
Lucian, don't ask about his appearance.
Oh,
Shut up.
This is nothing new. I've been this way my entire life.
Born this way?
You can say so.
Is he an Ettercap?
Huh?
Is he an Ettercap?
No idea.
Okay.
Because I've never heard Ettercat before.
Well, born this way or at some point after birth made this way? And reborn this way?
This is the only life I've ever known.
Intriguing.
How far back do you remember?
I remember this. And at this point, I'm going to have you make a dexterity check to denote reaction time.
Oh no.
He's gonna shoot spider webs out of some inappropriate area, isn't he?
Yep, that will be a 6.
So
We
he
weren't
beats you
supposed
on
to
the
get the
reaction
check.
time, and at this point, he begins to backflip on the wall. However, it matches his spider-like abilities. He begins to climb up just by running. He jumps off, and then he begins to try to make a stab at you. However, that's when the chain comes taut. He gets to about right there, and like a dog on a leash that hasn't learned the confines of the reach, the chain just goes taut, and he falls straight to the ground.
And this is why we kept our distance.
I want to run the bucket down the well and see what comes up.
You don't need to make a roll for it. It's regular water.
Okay.
Ooh.
Trust the water.
Yeah, I'm not going to imbibe anything here.
Speaking of water, I'm sure they've already tried it since they live close to the lake, but what if you splash some of the holy water on them? Would they revert to fully human?
You can certainly try.
Hey, man, also take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Splash some blood on him in return. That
You just try to
coagulated
stab me.
jelly
I
mess.
feel like throwing water at him is kind of a kind retaliation.
So which water are you throwing?
I don't have any, so it would not be Crispin.
All right.
Throw well water at him.
Yeah. At this point, he begins to stand up, and he looks at the chain, and he just goes, "That's a pity."
Explain this to me, Spider-Man. How come you have a dagger, but you're chained to the wall? You think they take the dagger away from you?
He doesn't have a dagger. This was his claw.
Oh, that was his claw.
The talon that he has in his hand.
You think they chop that off?
Why? This is the way I was meant to be.
Yeah, but you're trying to stab people.
You're just so easy to stab.
There's a metal bird in
Evidently
between
not.
you and me. Good luck with that in your 5-foot chain.
Yeah, Tony, stop being so stabbable.
Hey,
And
hey,
I
Crispin,
keep walking towards
can you
the
polymorph
room
him
that
into
we're-
an ass hat?
I could, but I don't think it's worth the spell slot at this point.
Plus, we're friends.
An ass hat. I haven't seen one of those before.
Look
Okay,
in
this
the
guy is clearly
mirror.
insane.
Do you have one?
I said look in the mirror, dum-dum.
Yeah, he asked if you have one.
Once upon a time, we did.
Okay, I wipe off a piece of Aes that is one of the shinier portions, i.e. beak.
He just kind of looks at himself and goes like, "That's a beautiful reflection."
See, Crispin, you should have left me as an ass hat. I'd fit right in, and we could have gotten all the information we want by now.
Now we know.
All right.
Yeah, as you talk to this guy more, it becomes more and more clear that he's flat out crazy.
We'll get along great. I like this guy.
And more like, "Oh my God, you'll never believe what Becky did crazy." More like, "We, the people of the state of Markovia, find the defendant criminally insane."
Yeah.
So hills have
I'd-
eyes. Got it.
I'm gonna walk into the building that we were directed to speak with the abbot.
All right. As you come in here to the abbot, he's facing away from you guys. You just see a tall, 6'5" individual wearing a brown robe. It appears that he's a very physically imposing individual. Behind him is something that you can't really quite see, but it looks to be humanoid in appearance. Gentle sounding music trickles from above, played on a single string instrument by some unseen conductor. The ground floor is one large 50-foot square room with arched leaded glass windows. Cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in the hearth, while above the fireplace mantle hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. Those of you who have really listened to some of the rumors here know that this is a symbol of the Morning Lord. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs to the upper level, and another stone staircase descends into darkness. There's several chairs around a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and gold candelabras are neatly arranged on the table, standing behind which is a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts. In front of her is a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe, gently takes the woman by her hand. A painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun hangs from a chain around his neck. He moves with the grace of a saint.
I think these are.
He begins to turn around. He looks to you and just says, can I help you?
That wasn't the voice I was expecting.
We're here to see the abbot, of course.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Mr. Abbott.
It's a pleasure.
Oh no.
Is it really the abbot?
What? Cracked open his head and had to get staples.
Bob did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear the questions right now.
Bob thinks they're still kids, roughhousing in the basement, not go backwards.
Liv, and I believe you had a question.
Yeah, I said, is it really the abbot? Like,
He seems to think so.
I mean, do we seem to agree? Or do I agree? Do I believe him?
You have no... You could sit there and be skeptical, but you really have no evidence since you've never seen
Okay.
the rightful abbot here. If this guy is or isn't the rightful abbot.
Now, how old does he look?
He looks like he's in his 30s.
And I'm sorry, did you say what race he was?
I did not.
Can we tell what he is?
Is it discernible?
Or is he like a donkey?
The only person who would have a chance to discern this is Hagrid.
Interesting.
Okay, what am I looking for?
The party is trying to sit there and just determine what exactly the abbot is, and they're getting hung up over his race. And based off of what the actual answer is, you'd be the only one that can discern the race of the abbot. So we'll just have you make a religion check.
Oh. Well times to roll a critical fail.
So the good news with skill checks is it's not truly a critical fail. As you look through, you see what appears to be some sort of... You've heard of a lot of different individuals that were at one time on like divine and heavenly planes. And when you were learning how to be a cleric after you've been chosen by the gods, kind of what those features are. You see some of them. You know that this is someone who's got a divine race, but you don't know particularly which one. So if it's a Planetar, if it's a Diva, if it's an Arakoa, you're not quite sure. But you know that it's definitely in that realm. At this point, the abbot begins to talk to you guys. Goes, is there anything I can do to help you guys?
Actually, did anybody catch the name of the Wanderer? Because
It was like Jazz or something like that. I think is what he
Ezzy was what you heard.
Ezzy?
Ezzy, yeah.
Oh, never mind.
We're looking for someone who may be able to help us out. Someone maybe named Ezzy?
Ezzy. Oh yeah, you mean Esmeralda. Sorry, the Bellevues here aren't too good at speaking.
The gypsy's name is Esmeralda, really?
Yeah, Esmeralda's the Avenir. She comes in, she brings me wine. Not a bad person.
When was the last time you saw her?
She's here now.
What?
Yeah, as you guys begin to continue this conversation, he moves around the female, and as you look, you thought it was a regular female. There's like stitching all over the place. And it like, do you remember the female character from The Nightmare Before Christmas, whose name escapes me right now?
Sally, yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of features that look similar to that.
What did you do to her?
Oh, this is... I have a solution as to how we can get Strahd to stop terrorizing everybody, and this is it.
What is?
What exactly is going on?
Strahd's so angry because no one ever loves him. So I made someone to love him.
What gave you that idea?
Well, if he sits there and has someone to help his home life, then he won't be such a dick to everybody else.
And is making Strahd companions your only abbotly duties?
I don't really understand the question there.
What exactly does
What's your typical day-to-day consist of?
I work on this. See if there's any more Bellevues that need to be taken care of. Drink some wine. I pray.
Okay.
That's about it.
It's probably the right order for things to go for.
Now, is that companion really for Strahd? You can tell the truth. We don't judge you.
I will.
I don't understand the question there.
Oh gosh.
How did you come to be the abbot of the abbey here?
I heard there was a hospital that seemed like a cool place where it helped people, and I want to help people too, and that's how I got here. Turns out there's nobody in there to help, so I just kind of started doing things. I thought it helped.
How long have you been here? Were you here since that last big battle, or did you come after?
Hold on, let me check my calendar as he heads over to the table here. And he flips page after page after page. It takes about 2-3 minutes. He goes, it's been about 92 years.
Oh, you look good for your age.
Thank you.
Just a drop in the bucket, like a week or two.
Now, don't take this the wrong age, but how long did you live before you came to the abbot? Or before you came to this hospital?
I don't really have a calendar that long.
Okay.
So, at least 92 years.
You just keep adding parts as they wear out, huh?
Yeah, as he points towards the bride of Strahd that he's created.
Is the bride...
Do you charge a premium for some parts over others?
I don't understand that question.
So we're actively seeking to make Strahd less of a dick, much like yourself in your endeavors here with the bride of Strahd that you've created. And we think
that's cool. You guys should do that.
We think that Ezzy could be a big help to us.
Has anybody tried communicating with her yet to see what her input is, if she
What I was
can
about
communicate?
to say, can she talk?
The patchwork bride that he made? Is that what you guys are asking about?
Yeah, I want to walk up to her and see if she's responsive.
How do you do so?
I look her in the eye if she's, her eyes are actually moving.
She's following you. She's paying attention to you. She clearly makes non-verbal communication, but she doesn't attempt to talk at all.
The perfect bride.
Wow, Harvey Weinstein. Real dick move you're doing there.
So, are you expecting Esmeralda anytime soon? Does she bring you wine at a particular time, or?
Oh, she's already here right now. She's up the stairs. You go talk to her if you want.
Oh. Your guards need to learn better geography. They told us that she was down the way.
Well, sorry, but the Bellevues aren't really an intelligent bunch.
Are they a
Turns out all the
family?
things that all the experiments I did really took a number on their brains, but I had to learn what to do in order to help the people.
Are the Bellevues a family?
Yeah. Yeah, they're a family.
Were they willing participants in your little experiments?
You know, I wrote it down in my notes somewhere, but I can't remember where I put that, so we'll just say maybe.
Okay.
How'd you get started in this line of work of a patchwork assembly before the Abbey?
I had an idea, and then I just did it.
Okay.
Idiot
think,
savant. Got it.
I think we should just go upstairs and talk to
Tony, you
Esmeralda.
have any advice on how to make his love dolls better?
That seems more like
this
a bard
is a person
thing.
that you're speaking about. You'll talk to her with respect.
Seems more like the bard category. I tend to pursue the academia, not the
I just heard you're a world-class tinkerer.
with machines, not people. Obviously by my amazing tact with getting us in here.
Alright, well, if you want to go talk to Esmeralda, you just need to go up the stairs there. You'll find her.
What's in the basement? There's stairs going down. What's in the basement?
Wine, mostly.
And
What's the mostly?
Well, it's over 90% wine. There's probably some, like, wine storage stuff in there, too.
Reds or whites?
Yeah.
I start heading upstairs.
Alright. As you do so. You guys pop over here. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Then I have to find out where you guys moved to real quick, sorry.
Looks like we're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map.
No, you are. I just need to find out. Here we go. Loft and belfry. The wooden stairs climb 20 feet to a loft with a pitched roof and a door in the center of the south wall. Unlit lanterns hang from the rafters, and a rope dangles from a bronze bell lodged in the belfry 30 feet overhead. The room is filled with the sound of beautiful music, a melody so enchanting that it adds a bit of much-needed warmth to the otherwise freezing room. A black shroud covers the humanoid shape lying on the wooden table. The music does nothing to stir it. A cot heaped with furs rests in the northeast corner, surrounded by empty wine bottles. An oil lamp burns atop a table nearby, silhouetting a squat creature that has two heads. It sits in the edge of a cot with a viol between its legs. With a crustacean claw-like appendage, it grasps the neck of the instrument while running a bow gently across its strings with its human hand. In the middle of the room, so where that black circle is where the bell actually is. And it's about 10 feet above you at this point.
I'd like to sort of casually and stealthily try to look at what's underneath the blanket or tarp or whatever it was.
No, that is the creature itself. The mongrel folk is kind of the pejorative term for all these individuals here. This mongrel folk has two heads and a crab's arm.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
he's currently playing the viol underneath this cloak.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Wait, he's playing an instrument?
Mm-hmm.
I'll start joining in with him. Bust out my loot.
Alright, roll performance check.
Oof. Yeah, this is 6 plus... Oh, 9. 15.
It takes you a little bit, but you're playing a pretty good up-tempo jazzy thing to match his kind of melancholy.
Zibba-da-bop-bop.
Yes, it's like you're playing Mambo No. 5 and he's playing Moonlight Sonata right now.
Ooh, that's a perfect combination.
Yes.
Anything plus Mambo No. 5 is a perfect combination.
Yes, a little bit of Crispin in his life.
That's what we all need.
But he just kind of looks up to you and he looks drunk as... Well, one face looks drunk as hell and the other one only looks slightly drunk. And then he just goes back down to playing.
Do I see anything in this like hallway area?
This is sort of the catwalk. You see a whole bunch of scarecrow guards, like interspersed out here, but they're all attached to sticks.
Oh, so this is like back outside, kind of?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
At this point, the drunk guy just sits there and is like, hey, do you guys have any more wine? It'd be pretty great.
Check the basement.
Yeah, and I'll fall down the stairs.
Just roll, you'll be fine. Tuck and roll.
You just got little stumpy legs. You know what I'm talking about.
Tuck and roll all the way to the basement, you'll be fine.
Come on.
If you
I
go
was just
fast
talking-
enough, you'll go right in.
You think
I
you're
was just
better than
talking
me?
I was just talking to the abbot, and he said he was gonna bring a bottle up in a couple minutes, so he should be right behind us.
That's never gonna happen. The guy seems way too drunk to say anything coherent at this time.
Can I go grab one of the empty bottles and hand it to him and say, here?
You certainly can. He goes, I already drank that. That's why I threw it over the corner. Thanks, dick.
No, there's still a couple drops left in the bottom.
Yeah. As you come through, and you're towards the north here, which room are you going through?
Are there doors on both of these, or what?
Yeah, they're regular doors. They don't seem reinforced at all. It's regular, like, wooden door.
Can I hear any activity or anything on the side through this door?
Once I get the number here, that is number 20. No, you don't really hear much of anything.
How about this one?
That one right there, that will be number 19. Okay. You hear there's some sort of tinkering around. You hear someone with the most normal voice out of anything you've heard here, just kind of muttering to herself. Kind of just, you hear things. It's not really discernible. But it doesn't sound crazy.
Okay, I'd like to quietly open the door and peek inside.
Roll stealth to see how you do so.
God fucking damn it! Everything's a 4. That is 11.
Yeah, as you go ahead and open up the door, once again, the rust on the hinges overtakes. She kind of, like, the figure just kind of turns around, and you see her, the curly black hair. It's sort of a red-orange cloak on top. You see on her hilt is a long sword, and on the other side of her belt is a hand axe. She just kind of looks over and just says, "Huh, you're not the abbot."
You must be the one they call Ezzy.
Yeah, mostly because Esmeralda is a little bit beyond their grasp of language.
So, Esmeralda, we being my party and myself, we were told by Madame Eva that you might be here and that you might be able to help us out.
She kind of looks around, and at this point, the entire party's coming. It's like, I've heard about you guys. You're the one that punched that guy's face, and now there's still a Goliath-sized fist in his face. Thanks for that. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah, that's my spiritual advisor.
He is quite spirited. Yeah, it's good to meet you, Esmeralda de Avenir.
Who is she introducing herself to? Everybody?
Yeah, just one at a time. It's kind of like, doctor.
I put my left arm straight out, my right arm across my chest, and I bow, and I introduce myself as Lucian.
That's very formal.
No, I am dressed quite nicely. I have to maintain an image.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I got a plan here. I'm sure that you guys have found out by now. Strahd and I aren't really BFFs by any stretch of the imagination.
And I'm sure you know that we're on similar terms with him.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I just knew you guys through, the hole in one of our brethren's face, but that's nice to know too. So, what's your plan for Strahd?
Well, I mean, you said you had a plan. Let's hear yours first.
Well, I was just going to sneak into Castle Ravenloft. I know with vampires is I can kill him as many times as I want, but he's still going to stay alive. So I was just going to destroy his coffin, so there's nowhere for him to regenerate at, and then I'd go kill him. And that's my entire plan.
We've got a couple more steps in ours.
Well, then fuck this. She crumples up her plan and just throws it over her shoulders. Like, tell me what you got.
Well, first and foremost, do you know, a half-elf bard by the name of Rictavio?
I mean, I know him by Van Richten, and yeah, he's the guy that's been teaching me how to vampire hunt. As she steps away from the desk because she's got no more need for it now, you see that there's a metallic left leg. It's kind of steampunkish. It's not necessarily the same engineering style as AS. It's a little bit more simple, but you're surprised at how well it moves like a normal leg. I
go investigate said leg. It has
all right, you poke it. It's there. There's a kneecap and everything.
Nope, I study for mechanical attributes.
It's simple. It's there's no arcane nature to it. It's just kind of like gears and a couple of pulleys. It's nothing that you haven't seen before.
Okay. Rudimentary.
She begins to just twist her foot around like she's like the old 50s dancer. She's like, yeah, but it does the job.
We'll talk later.
It was this or crutches. I like this better.
We'll talk later.
I think the steampunk leg is going to help you be a little more useful to us as well. So, Ezzy, about our plan, we coming and finding you is really the first step of our plan. We are also planning to infiltrate Castle Ravenloft, though destroying his coffin was only one of our sort of goals. We've learned of a pretty powerful magical sword that's also there in Castle Ravenloft, which could turn out to be part of Strahd's downfall.
Van Richten was telling me about this. He said that in his research he found something called the Sun Sword.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to it was made just out of the hopes of the people in order to bring him down. It's got a mind of its own, you know.
Well, I'm sure that if its mind is if it's been made of the hopes of the people, then its mind is of the similar mind of us, where we want to take down Strahd.
Yeah, I think we got to go get that. Even if it's just a symbol, that's a great thing to have with us.
We also got wind of someone in Berez who may know a good deal of information about Strahd and potentially have information on how we can defeat him.
Did they tell you the full story of that?
I mean, we know that the individual in question is the midwife of Strahd.
And you know how old Strahd is, right?
Ballpark.
Yeah, ballpark.
He's centuries old. That's the thing about being undying, I guess. Baba Lysaga is driven mad. She sees herself as Strahd's true mother, even though she didn't birth him at all. If she senses any hostility towards Strahd at all, she's going to send everything she's got at us. It would be smart to take her off the board.
So, my question to you then, Esmeralda, is if Strahd is centuries old and she was around before him, what is she?
She used to be elven. She's an abomination now. I don't really know how well to describe her to you. Just, you know how some magic is designed to help people out, make them better, and to make them more, like, have more vitality? There's some magics that have a cost to you as well. She delved in those magics. Anybody else have questions at this time?
I don't think so.
All right. So it looks like that's done. Esmeralda just kind of looks, it's like, hey, you guys help me with something before we leave here?
Sure.
Is it getting this abbot out of this place?
It is actually. There's these mongrel folk. They kind of have a habit of, when they get out of here, they like to dig up dead bodies and use that in order to help build their, like, flesh golems. I'm sure you've seen one. He calls it the Bride of Strahd.
Yeah, we knew they were a little freaky deaky.
Yeah, that's I don't think that's a good solution, and I don't think it's good for anybody that those things still exist.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a good number of them, and a good number of them are already psychotic.
So, yeah, we just need to find a way. I would sit there and say, hey, let's either take care of the mongrel folk, let's put their painful existence to an end, or we take care of the abbot. One of the two.
Question. How dry
not
does the
both.
internal of this building seem, lower and upper level?
But
How
we're
flammable
surrounded
is
in
this
fog,
building?
so it's got, like, there's going to be moisture everywhere.
Well, what about the internals here? Because they obviously have to stay warm. If we lit the building on fire, how fast would it go up?
I doubt it would go up at all, because with the fog, everything's saturated. I don't know if you'd have enough dry material in order to have a sustained fire.
Well, I think it's more important to take out the abbot if we're only going to do one of those, because he's just going to keep doing this.
Yeah, let's go kill Mr. Abbey. Let's
I mean, the
lure him into
abbot is
basement.
kind of the head honcho here. I would imagine if we took him away, it won't be the most pleasant death for these mongrel folk, but they will meet their end.
Alright, well, what do you think? Lure him into the basement and kill him there? Less chance of getting surprised?
I honestly doubt that he's going to walk away from the bride. We're likely going to have to take care of him in that main hall. But all the other mongrel folk are chained up that I've seen. So I doubt that we'll have interlopers.
What's on the floor beneath us?
It's a wine cellar.
Directly beneath this room is a wine cellar?
Not directly beneath this. This was originally like, and she like points out, this room up here was originally like the intensive care unit. This room right here was originally the surgery room. This right here, like being sort of the NICU / nursery, and this right here was the morgue. And then underneath was more like kind of just single patient rooms, treating like a trauma center.
So are there mongrels in those single patient rooms or up here that we need to worry about not being chained up?
No, there's a single monstrous flesh golem that guards them, but he can't really hear too well if we keep the fight confined to that room. Everybody else is locked up. The abbot kind of knows that their madness is uncontained. There's only 3 individuals that he really trusts to be not chained up. The guy playing the music, and then the 2 that guard the front gate.
Do we want to trust her information or do we want to go confirm it before we start a fight?
Roll an insight check.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if we could do that. Can I make one as well?
Sure. You guys really don't trust your allies.
Not
I just
an
want to make
ally
sure
yet.
that I just want to make sure that her information is well vetted. That's a 22.
I got a 16.
To be fair, her plan was not complicated, so she might not know that much.
And the fact that it took Tyrannus almost an entire campaign before he was accepted.
Yeah. Okay. As it comes out here, is you recognize that this plan is definitely well more formulated because she sat there and sees all this kind of stuff. Her knowledge is best in terms of recon and a scout is that the more she can sit there and learn about an area, the better the plan is, which kind of makes sense. This one, you guys see, has a much more significant chance of being successful than, hey, we're just going to destroy the coffin that Strahd sleeps in.
Okay, well, let's go blow somebody's head off.
That was a plan that was based off of concepts. This one is based off of actual knowledge.
You guys ready to go blow Mr. Freaky Deaky's head off?
Yeah,
His
why
name is
not?
Carl Weezer, thank you very much. I mean, his name is the Abbot, thank you very much.
Can I look at Haggard and see how itchy he's getting from not killing anything in a while?
Haggard, how itchy are you to kill something?
Kind of like wearing a wool sweater.
So
Yes.
it's like itchy, scratchy. We're not quite at itchy, tasty yet. Okay.
I still sit there and say that his trigger finger is starting to twitch.
Yeah. I definitely we need to get him some smiting before he hits itchy, tasty levels because that's bad. So
All right.
let's go take out this
Carl
monstrosity.
All right. I'm assuming you guys are going to head down the same way you came.
Yep.
I want to jump down from the top.
So that would be about a 15-foot fall. Do you have feather fall or anything like that?
I didn't think it was that tall.
Yeah, 'cause
It is 15 feet.
you said the walls of the abbey were 15 foot tall, which means that each level would be approximately... Well, the first one, if they can see on the outside, would probably be about 10 foot tall. And
So considering that you can see scarecrows over this, it's safe to assume that this is at least 10 feet tall on the catwalk. Probably more closer to 12 to 13 feet, so that you can see like what would look to be a guard.
Let's just
So I would
push
sit
him
there
over
and
and see how he
say
lands.
it's
How's
still an
this?
athletics. It's still an acrobatics check.
Okay, I'm just gonna do it.
Does anyone have a way to incapacitate the drunk guy as we go through? Any arcane methods other than us trying to knock him out?
I mean, I got polymorph and I got charm. That's about it for
Oh, I have
interacting.
ensnaring strike.
You've jumped.
I rolled a 15.
That's
Or I
good
didn't roll a
because that
15,
means
it
you
was
take
15
half
combined.
damage from the fall,
Okay.
and you end up taking 7 force damage, rounded down to 3.
Okay.
And
Totally
that's-
worth it, guys.
Yeah.
I want to still head back through the room with the drunk guy, but I kind of want to see if I can sneak down into the basement really quick and grab a bottle of wine.
Yeah, you can do that without issue. As you get down into the cellar, and I'll just show you, so you know that I'm not fucking with you.
That's just wine.
Yeah. So as you look down, there's a whole bunch of wine. They all have the same label on it. It's called the Wizard of Wines.
Does it have any value?
The value to get you drunk.
Okay.
Considering that the Wizard of Wines is like, you know this as the individuals who run the Blue Water Inn. Their father, like the proprietor's father, owns the winery.
I want to grab a couple of bottles, just 2, and bring them up to Drunky.
All right, you do so.
Can I
Okay.
hand him a couple flashbangs too, as he hands him the bottle of wine and be like, here, presents for you. Let somebody
yes.
else blow themselves up in the face instead.
Does anyone have a poisoner's kit? We could take care of him completely.
Yeah, you know what? I gave mine away.
We'll get him to flashbang himself eventually.
It'll be fine. I'm hoping he just continues to get drunk and he's too useless to actually do anything to combat.
As you come up with the bottles of wine, he sees that the corks haven't been removed, which is kind of intentional by the way you're carrying it, since you knew exactly what he cared about. He kind of just looks, and all four of his eyes begin to get wide. He goes like, "Oh man, you're the best!" Finally, a guy who doesn't think he's better than me.
Let's. Why don't you remember that I gave you that wine?
At this point, he drops the vial in its entirety. A crab hand grabs one, the human hand grabs the other. He pulls them back, like breaks the tops of the bottles off because he doesn't really give a fuck about the corks at all. And one mouth, or one bottle per one mouth, he just begins drinking. And it is kind of impressive how quickly he's able to just slam these bottles of wine. And we get to make Constitution saving throws at disadvantage. And that's the first roll for both of them. Both heads begin to start getting woozy. You look like, you know how dizzy you get after spinning around? Now imagine there's someone directly connected to you. And the heads are spinning in different directions at different rates of speed, and eventually just falls onto his back.
Yeah, that's gonna be vomit.
So,
well, he landed on his back, so he might drown in it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna roll him over.
Here and find the appropriate thing here.
Just gonna set a flashbang down next to him.
So this here is a signal to say that he's about to projectile vomit.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that I'm completely clear of that and wait for my party to congregate with me at the staircase to attack.
No binky.
Carl Weiser. Except for Leovan, obviously, he's going to begin his assault from below.
From gravity's assist.
Yeah. All right. So let's get you into the proper map then. And you guys will be right there. Position yourselves wherever you'd like near the stairs, except for Leovan. Leovan, you'll be based off of where you jumped. You'll sit there and say right about here so that you could safely dodge Spider McStabby.
Cool.
And then I need to get Esmeralda on this map. Notes. I have those up. All the stats.
Wow.
At this
that
point,
motorcycle
you hear,
really got going.
Yeah, Carl Weiser trying to get the flesh golem to speak. And that's about as much noise as she can make. Oh yeah, very good. You're really learning fast.
So the Bride of Strahd is also a flesh golem?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I missed a little bit of the exposition.
It's a very well made flesh golem. It's like Sally from the Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's funny because you remembered the movie, but not the name before. Then you remember the name, but almost not the movie.
Yeah. DMing's tough, guys.
It's hard. It's hard work. It's a lot of things to remember. A lot of moving parts.
Look up what this lady looks like.
So, what's going on, guys? Can I help you at all?
Yeah, we'd like to see about getting one of these replaceable part flesh golems.
Flesh golems, this here is the work of my creation. She's gonna bring peace to all of Barovia.
Well, what would it take to get the next tier down model?
Sorry, this is a person you're speaking about. You just don't get tears.
Yeah, you get
Unless you
tiers
like make
of
them
people.
sad or something.
You get different quality of people throughout life. You've lived long enough to know that.
I'm beginning to not like you, dude.
Tony has that effect on people.
Yeah, especially
noticed.
bartenders with stools.
Why do you hang out with him? He's kind of a jackass. Oh, I'm sorry, I said a naughty.
He's pretty useful.
Yeah, he turns kind of into an ass when he's tired talking
Why are you
about
guys
myself
all
in
getting
third person.
closer to me? Are we going in for a group hug? Is that what we're doing?
In the showers tonight?
What?
Group hug.
Laven, could you go around the other side of the table?
Laven would have to come in through there, and at this point he would have came in. Esmeralda filled that gap. No, you're enough time has passed. You can come in.
Okay.
Laven is flying all over the room.
Projected through the building.
You know that the oil of etherealness was in the last game, right? You can't plane walk here.
Okay.
Seriously, what's going on here, guys?
Group hug.
Something about this seems weird.
Tony, you should flashbang him.
Alright, I'll throw a flashbang at him.
All right, this will count as your surprise round attack. And Tony, make your flashbang attack.
We know
Here's
how
the
well...
natural one, guys.
Yeah,
Look, everyone in the party right now, cross your fingers.
I got a 3.
Oh my god.
Plus.
What do we say? That's unarmed, Jay?
Yeah.
2!
So it's a 5?
No, it became a 2!
Oh, it became a 2. Shit, so that thing went off early, and it just kind of like... The good news there is enough time has passed where the active ingredient kind of degraded a little bit. And it kind of just looks like a little bit of a firework. And he just goes like, "Oh, that's a cool trick, guys. That was really pretty."
You're welcome. I figured I needed to make up for being an ass earlier.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this earns forgiveness, but that was a cool thing. You're not all bad.
Alright, so...
Alright, guys, let's come in and do this group hug.
Which one is the abbot? The archangel looking one?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to try to get like a surprise attack on him so I can use like my assassinate or whatever.
During the group hug?
So at this point, Esmeralda is able to read the room and kind of just sits there and just goes like, just starts talking to the abbot. It's like, "Alright, hey, Abbott, we're gonna head away for a while." And at this point, she's looking at you and she kind of gives you like a little nod, saying she knows what's up. So you can get closer and goes, "Do you need anything while we're away? I know you want more wine, and just let me know when you're ready to attack, because there's only so much exposition I can do."
Yeah, no, I'm ready. I think I'm in position.
All right, go ahead and attack.
Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay, that's a the 23.
23 would hit, and because of assassinate, it's an automatic critical, including your sneak attack damage.
All right. All right. So that's 22, so 44 plus 5, 49.
49, and what dagger are you using?
That was the flame tongue dagger.
You said 49 damage?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're so lucky you got magical daggers.
And then...
And at that point, everyone, let's roll initiative.
Leave it alone.
Not bad. Better than last.
Bad.
Yes.
Alright, go play, guys.
So we're doing the count off, or how do you want to do it?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for him to start asking for ranges.
Yeah. So many pages.
Such pages. So to the party, fair warning, my plan is to get the fuck out of here because I'm not trying to get slammed by a flesh golem.
Yeah. All right. So we'll start off with 25 to 20. 15 to 20.
16.
A's got a 17.
Okay. 10 to 15.
11.
5 to 10.
I feel like we're missing somebody.
Yeah, I got a
Let's move
4.
on to your initiative.
I got a 14, my bad.
Crispin, what's your initiative?
4.
Hagrid, what was your initiative?
16.
Oh. You and I have the
Alright,
same initiative,
so-
Hagrid.
Because we have tied initiative here. Yeah. Lucian and Hagrid will act at the same time. You can change the order. Just for the sake of organization, just one of you will take a complete turn, then the other will. But you get to choose which order you go in. The
Okay.
same for Tony and Esmeralda. But at the beginning, the abbot gets to go first with a 24.
Oh shit.
And the abbot turns around and goes to Lucian and goes, "Hey man, that really hurt. I didn't like that at all." And he is going to make an attack with the mace that he had at its side. And that is going to be a 16 plus 8, which will hit.
Yeah.
So the mundane damage that it does is max damage. So it's 10 bludgeoning damage. And there's a holy energy, like a divine energy that comes out from this. And it'll do 12, 19, 20, 21, 22 radiant damage as well. So a total of 32 damage.
I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge.
This isn't a dexterity saving throw.
Right, Uncanny Dodge is just that I can use my reaction to have an attack's damage against me.
Oh, thank you. I was thinking evasion.
Yeah.
And then it's going to make a second attack on you.
Sorry, what was the damage from the first one again?
It was 10 bludgeoning damage, and then it was 23 radiant damage.
So what would that be halved?
So it'll come down to 5
21.
bludgeoning and whatever they have radiant damage is. 11.
Okay.
And that will be a 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that will be another 10 bludgeoning damage. And its radiant damage will be 7, 14, 19 radiant damage.
Alright guys, that was quick. I'm unconscious.
And he will sit there and he'll teleport. And you just see him. Oh man, I'm in the wrong zone, am I? There we go. And he just comes up right onto this, right here. He goes like, "Man, I thought you guys were my friends." And that's the end of his turn. That brings us to Ace.
Ace is going to sit there and guard the door for us to make sure nobody comes in behind us. Alert us if they do.
All right, so he's going to hold his action in order to make sure that individuals cannot come through that room. All right, that brings us to Lucian and Hagrid. Lucian, make your death saving throw.
Fuck, that's an 8.
Mark off one failure.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna fucking die.
And Hagrid, you're up. Hagrid? Oh, there you are.
Yeah. All right. I move over to Lucian.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have range to do that. Cool.
And I touch him and cast the cantrip Spare the Dying.
Okay, and remind me again, what does that do?
He now becomes stable.
Perfect. You are now at 1 HP then, Lucian.
All right.
And prone.
And see what I want to try here.
So you only used up 20 feet of your motion, so you can continue your move. And I believe the cantrip is only your bonus action, so you...
That mace is no fucking joke.
Divas, dude. Thank God you're not facing a Planetar.
All right, I think I want to try casting Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. And where would you like to drop that?
I would like to drop that right there.
All right, let's... And do you have a particular shape of the weapon that you want?
Let's go with a sigh.
All right. All those are premium mats. Yeah. So let's try Scythe instead, see if I can get a free one. There we go. So that, I believe I dropped that in the right place.
Close enough.
All right, where do you specifically want it? I'll move it.
I think it was on his side of.
So I was 1 square away. Cool. And I believe I gotta look this up again because cleric spells, man, there's just so damn many of them. Spiritual weapon. There we go. When you cast a spell, you can make a melee spell attack, and if it hits 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. So, with it being created, and what spell level are you casting this at? Because it's your main action, you can go any level.
How about third?
Use a spell slot of third or higher. So make a melee spell attack. Add your spellcasting modifier instead.
Adjusted 12.
Because that's coming down with the speed of the heavens in my headcanon, roll with advantage just because it's coming out.
A little better, 14.
Unfortunately, it just barely misses, but as it continues around, you can continue to make strikes. It will do an extra 1d8 damage every time.
Cool.
Yep. And then I believe it's a bonus action to move, so it really ups the action economy. So, all right, all done?
I believe so.
Cool. Tony and Esmeralda.
All right. So.
And the best part with spiritual weapon is, Hagrid, you get to choose whether or not it makes a strike if you walk within range of it.
Since my flash, that didn't work. All right. What do I have for spells? That's an important question right now, actually. Alright. I'll do that then. I would like to walk over to, Lucian. I think it's Lucian. And cast Cure Wounds on his happy ass as my main.
And what level?
That's right. I do have second level spell slots now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use it at second level.
All right, go ahead and roll the healing for that.
I forget what that is off the top of my head.
It should be 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier because it's second level.
2d8.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sure we'll hear it on Twitter.
Spellcasting modifier, which is the attack bonus, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let's give him 11.
All right, you are now at 12 HP, Lucian.
Woohoo!
There's a reason I keep that spell around.
And that's your bonus action.
After doing that, can I... Because if I fire, I won't be able to reload till my next turn, which is going to throw the sequence all out of whack.
Not necessarily.
I know
You
what
just
I
take
want
your
to do.
bonus action before your action.
I want to throw a thunderball at his happy ass.
All right.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember, is this one of your inventions?
They're 1d4 thunder damage and 1d4 force damage.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll a ranged spell attack then.
It's a physical thing, so I'm actually throwing.
Or ranged attack.
Fuck me. I rolled a 5.
You suck.
You threw it well, but unfortunately you threw it straight out a window.
I may have caught a tree on fire, guys. My bad.
And you just hear, and then, yeah, of course, the sound of a tree just going. You hear it, and because of the angle in which it slides, you just hear a sliding log for about 10-15 seconds throughout the battle.
That's right, nature. I'm showing you who's boss.
All right, that's it.
That's all I got.
Leovan, you're up.
All right. I'm going to cast Ensnaring Strike,
Okay.
and then I'm going to fire an arrow at that dude with my bow's cold damage also.
Go for it. Roll to hit.
17?
17. I believe. Let me make sure I'm in the right window here. 17 just barely hits.
Yes.
Which one did you attack?
The Planetar.
Wait, yeah.
Or the Diva.
What? The Diva?
DEVA is what it's called.
That's what
Is that
he's called?
is that what the abbot is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's 8 piercing and 5 cold.
8 piercing, 5 cold. On a magical attack is the bowstring, which is another 13.
And then he has to make a strength saving throw, or he's restrained by magical vines. If he's larger, he has advantage on the saving throw.
And I gotta look up his strength real quick. It doesn't say any, or 18 for strength, which would be a +4. So that will be a 13.
I'm a 14 DC.
He is restrained.
Sweet. It takes 1d6 piercing damage at the start of its turn.
Perfect. Yep. Then that brings us to the flesh golem. At this point, seeing the abbot in distress, she begins to get a little bit worried. She is going to move towards Leovan, and is going to make a series of strikes.
I was really hoping she would just sit in the corner.
That's a 16 to hit.
I'm a 16 AC.
And a 19 to hit. The first
what is
attack is going to be 9 plus 4, 13 damage. Bludgeoning, based off of just a flat-out punch. You know, for someone that's barely stitched together, has a mean right cross. And then the left jab that comes up will be 12 plus 4, 16 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. These things pack a punch.
Mm-hmm. And that will be the end of its turn. That brings us to Crispin to end the round.
Alrighty. What's the abbot's mace made out of?
It appears to be a regular mace. You don't know exactly how it's being able to do this radiant damage.
Okay.
But that's mostly because you've never really encountered beings from divine planes before.
But is it a metal mace?
Yeah, it's not like a nth metal like oh god, what's the name from Justice League? The Falcon Girl.
From what?
Hawk Girl. Yeah, Hawkman and Hawk Girl, where they had like the magical maces. Not like that. Typical everyday mace is what it looks like.
Okay. Could I cast heat metal on it?
You certainly can.
All right, I'm gonna do that at level 4.
All right. It's a wonderful ability. It's an amazing, amazing spell.
Ooh, yes, and that is 6 plus 6, 12, 17 plus 3 is 20.
Heat metal, which means
Oh no, that's
you
only
take fire damage no matter what. Creatures holding or wearing the object. Constitution saving throw or drop it. If it doesn't drop it, it has disadvantage on its next attack. Alright, so it's con saving throw. Show me Constitution. Alright. Well, that's cocked. 5 plus 5. That's a 10 on the Constitution saving throw.
and that will fail.
All right, so it sits there, and you just. How much fire damage was it, by the way?
It is 11 plus 6, 17 plus my 3, so 20 total.
All right, that's a wonderful spell.
Oh no, just 17. There's no. I don't add my modifier.
Okay. It sits there and like you see the metal begin to glow, like it's just gotten out of the forge. He just holds onto it and goes, "Oh, hey, ow! Why'd you do that?" And it's now dropped onto the ground, still red hot, or brown hot in my case. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to do?
Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to run over to Lucian and give him another level 1 of Cure Wounds.
All right, go ahead and roll 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Yep, that'll be 3 plus 3, 6.
All right, you're now at 18 life.
You guys make me feel so warm and fuzzy.
I mean, it's either that or feel dead. Anything else?
Nope, that will be it.
We're back to the top of the round. Due to the ensnaring strike, he takes 1d6 damage, and that's 2. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be rolling that. Laven, roll that damage.
Which one?
The 1d6 for the ensnaring strike on the abbot.
Oh, yep. 5.
5? All right. Backwards. 80. All right. At this point, I think he's getting the idea that you guys don't necessarily want him to be alive anymore. And he is going to move up towards Hagrid. And that's going to be an attack of opportunity on the spiritual weapon. Go ahead and roll that to hit, Hagrid.
Wait, he passed the...
It's a teleportation that he did, but he still had to leave melee range. And Hagrid would have seen it because he saw the teleportation once, he knows what's up, and the ensnaring strike still goes with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's still like restrained, but because it's teleporting, he can still move.
You can still move around. Okay.
All right, so I roll to have spiritual weapon hit him. Is that what you're?
Yes.
Okay, that was a nat 20.
Yes.
It will be. I remember it's 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier. Because you're a level up, it's 2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, and then double the dice on that.
Well, 24 altogether.
24 altogether. Wonderful.
And then, well, I have to wait for my turn then to do anything further because I was just.
This was an attack of opportunity. This is his turn technically.
Gotcha.
He is going to.
Did he pick his mace back up?
No, I burned him. He's for a divine being. Intelligence isn't something he's really too good at. So he's going to make an unarmed attack at Hagrid. Bonus on this is going to be absolute trash. That's an 11 plus 4. That's 15 to hit.
You will not.
And his second strike on here, I can actually get to stand here. That's a natural 3, so he's missed entirely on this. As his bonus action, he's going to perform Healing Touch on himself, and we'll get back 20 hit points.
What a bitch.
And that brings us to Aeus.
Still standing by over there as a warning.
Lucian and Hagrid are up.
All right, Lucian, since new reanimate, why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
One question though. What are you at for hit points now? Do you still need further help before you leave me?
Yeah, I mean, I could still use quite a few hit points. I'm at about a quarter, or about half of my life now. Maybe a third.
All right, well, maybe I ought to go first then.
Okay.
I had one here, and I can't remember where the heck I had it. I think it was a domain spell.
So just to keep everything up, we're gonna this spell, even if it's touch, we're gonna let it happen. But if you want to move to make the attack, we'll just sit there and say it's the first thing that you guys do since you have conjoined turns.
Okay. So yeah, while he looks that up, then after the healing occurs, I'll move over behind the bride to help Leovan out.
Okay.
Also because it sounds like when she hits you, it doesn't hurt quite as badly.
Yes, this is logical.
Does a 12 hit?
Someone that doesn't know you're there and has no armor whatsoever, barely any sentience. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Roll sneak attack damage on this as well.
All right. 5 from the dagger. 11 from the sneak attack. And then 5 more for my damage bonus, so 21.
21 on here, perfect.
And then I will attack again, follow up with my other dagger.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a 19.
Certainly hits.
For 7 points of damage. 7 plus 5, so 13 points of damage.
All right, so another 5 on top of that.
And then I'm going to use my action surge.
Okay.
to make 2 more attacks against her.
Way to finally use your Court of the Dragonkin ability.
That's going to be a 24.
Hits.
And that's max damage, so that's 13.
Okay.
And then the other strike again. That's going to be a 27.
Hits.
And that is 7 damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to back up to get out of her range.
You successfully do all of that. You ruin some of her stitches. The diva sees that and just goes, "Oh man, I worked so hard on that." And that's the end of your turn. That brings us to Hagrid. You said that you had you got the spell ready to go for him?
I do. I have a question for the DM first.
Go for it.
For the Channel Divinity ability of Preserve Life, it says that I can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum. Does that also mean that I can add no more than half to what Lucian already has? Is that an acceptable interpretation of that?
Say that again for me.
I can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum from being badly injured.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that means from 0 or 1 up to half, but does that mean I can also take the half and add it to what he has now?
Honestly, with the way that it sounds like, I don't agree with the way that the rule is written, and I don't agree in a way that favors you. Is that they sit there and it's like, if you had 1 hit point left, and you have 200 hit points total, you automatically get healed 99 hit points to bring you to half. I think that's, no matter what it is, you can restore half their life, instead of just restore them up to 50%. So
it can grant 50% instead of being capped out at that 50% of its life?
I think that makes more sense.
Okay.
Because I don't sit there and like, I understand the in your time of need aspect to this spell, but I don't understand why a god who has chosen you would choose you less when things are going well.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever 50% of your life is, Lucian, you gain that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Round it up or down, because it's
Round it
43.
down.
Round it down, okay. So it's 21 hit points back.
You can get number of hit points equal to 5 times my cleric level, so up to 35.
So 21 is where it's capped out at because of the half of his life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear that he could get at least that 21.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
Sweet.
And
Thank you, Hagrid.
Yeah. Since spiritual weapon is an evocation and not a concentration spell, I assume my psi is still active.
And it's a bonus action to move it.
Right. As a bonus action on my turn, I can move the weapon and repeat the attack against a creature.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I have control over this?
You absolutely do. No, I got to move it for you. Just drop it where you want. I believe it's got a range of 25 feet, so you can move it right to the diva. Bam.
Okay. And then I
roll with advantage because it is 2 things under your control.
Okay. 9, 16.
16, unfortunately, just barely misses. Yeah.
That's pretty much for me then, I guess.
All right. Then Lucian's already done, so we've got Esmeralda and Tony, and Esmeralda's going to go first on this one. And she's going to cast Firebolt at the Flesh Golem. That is a natural 11, which I don't even need to worry about adding the modifier. She is. So that's 2d10 damage. It's 12 fire damage, doubled to 24. And at this point, just everything of the flesh golem begins to ignite. It is absolutely maddened right now. It is not in control of its actions. It's just going to start striking randomly out of self-preservation as opposed to making concerted strikes.
Wait, you said that the fire damage against it is doubled?
Yes. As soon as the fire from her firebolt... Oh, I'm sorry, I should have started from the beginning. She begins to cast Firebolt as a cantrip, and as soon as the bolt connects and makes and catches the flesh golem, it immediately gets caught up in flames, and it is just in mere survival mode, just moving around, flailing. It's not making any concerted attacks. It's just striking out, trying to do anything to put out the fire right now. So its tactics have changed.
So next time I attack it, my flame tongue dagger should do double?
Yes. If I missed that, I apologize in the past.
I was just clarifying for the future because I couldn't tell you which individual dagger attack was my flame tongue dagger, so it's not like we can double it after the fact.
And then she's going to throw her +1 hand axe at the diva, and rolls a disadvantage for this because of the distance. 18 and a 4, so unfortunately it misses, and her +1 hand axe is clanging around somewhere over here. And that ends her turn. Tony, you're up.
Alright, well, I might as well shoot at the angelic dude.
Go for it.
Jeez, I'm just gonna give up. I rolled a 6.
A 6 will not hit, no.
Alright, reload and a turn.
Okay. That gives us to Leovan here.
Alright, I'm going to break out my flaming longsword.
Okay.
And take a slash at the flesh golem.
Wonderful. Go ahead and roll a hit.
That's not good. 7?
A 7 unfortunately misses.
Okay, and
it just, you sat there and the fire and its flailing just moved unexpectedly and you didn't connect.
Alright, and then I swing again for a 14.
A 14 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Uh, 4 slashing. 3 fire.
And that 3 will be doubled into 6. And it looks like the flesh golem is nearly de-stitched. That's the end of your turn?
Unless I can run away.
You certainly can.
Okay, run away.
All right, at this point, the flesh golem, let's see what direction she wants to move in. And using good old dice. 1, so we'll come down this way, just rambling through, and is going to make strikes at Esmeralda. Just 1 because, it's maddened right now. And that's an 11, which will not hit. Esmeralda is successfully able to duck around it. And that will end that turn. Crispin.
Alrighty. I'll hop in front of the abbot and conjuring emotions from some other life. I will try to use the twin dagger tattoo and get a sneak attack on him with my longsword.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll to hit with advantage.
13 and 7, so 13 plus 5, 18 to hit.
18 does hit. Just barely got over the threshold.
Alright, that's...
And then what's your bard level?
My bard level is 7.
So you would roll the sneak attack damage of a 3rd level rogue.
Yeah, I've got 2d6 written down.
Cool. Sounds right.
Base damage is 8. 6 plus 2. Sneak attack is 9.
So 8 plus 9?
Yep. So 17. And then if I take the attack as my main action, I get a free extra attack. So I'm going to come back at it again with the longsword.
Cool.
And that one's going to be a 9 to hit.
A 9 will not do anything close to hit.
Okay. And then as my bonus action, I'll grant Bardic Inspiration to Hagrid.
All right. And then what college are you? Just so I know how you're able to use the inspiration.
I was Valor.
All right, cool. So same as me. That ends your turn.
Yep.
The abbot goes again. He gets Leovan. Roll your 1d6 ensnaring strike damage.
5 again.
Okay. At this point, he just sits there, realizes he's got nowhere to move on this case, and uses his teleport. And that teleport will send him right over here. Actually, no, he'll go over here. Enough time has passed where, oh my God, stupid table. The table's going to move so that I can move him, and then it's going to move back. Some real Beauty and the Beast style shit here. He is going to try to pick up the mace, and I believe that you haven't cast a concentration spell at all, so he'll make a Constitution saving throw to see if he can pick it up. That's a natural 5 plus 5, so 10. Go ahead and roll your heat metal damage. Crispin. Heat metal at 4th level.
Does the spiritual weapon get another attack of opportunity?
Actually, all of you guys would. Hagrid, spiritual weapon, and Crispin would get attacks of opportunity. Thank you for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, and then so everybody make your. Considering that you never really, considering that you didn't have a melee weapon equipped, I would say no.
Damn him. I'm attaching a bayonet to this thing at some point.
Because sometimes you do have to bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yep. I want to make sure it's serrated, though, so things get stuck to it, though.
Ooh. That is
All
a
right,
22
so our opportunity
on
strikes,
my,
guys.
21 on my attack of opportunity.
All right, that hits.
Right.
Hagrid, you get 2 opportunity strikes, one from you and one from your spiritual weapon.
Does a 21 hit as my melee attack?
It certainly does.
That is 7 slashing, and since it's a blessed item, does it get the 4d6 as well?
Unfortunately, he gets immunity to radiant damage.
Okay.
Yep.
And then for the spiritual weapon, 15 hit.
15 unfortunately does not.
Okay.
Now, because he tried to pick up and failed on the heat metal check, Crispin, roll your 4d8 fire damage.
Right on. That is 9, 14.
14 on that. All right.
And then I had 5 on my attack of opportunity.
Okay. Holy shit, guys. Math. At this point, you've never seen an angel cry, but now you have. He is not looking good at all. But he is going to sit there and cast... At this point, it's just for color because he can't really attack you guys and be effective. At the same point, there's nothing dead here for him to raise up. So he's going to cast Detect Good or Evil on you, Crispin. And that's... Yeah.
So which is it, Crispin? Are you good or are you evil?
I know, I'm about to find out a lot about myself.
I lean in to listen.
This is what happens when I just don't have the action economy the DM's favors. And he finds out that you are not an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. He also finds out that you have not been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Honored that he think that I might have.
Yeah, he just goes like, huh. So you guys aren't evil, you're just dicks. Come on, I'm just trying to help here. And that ends his turn. That brings us to Aeus.
Still just gonna hold there.
Alright, that brings us to Lucian and Hagrid.
You can go first, Hagrid.
All right. I would like to move towards the Evo, the Abbot.
Okay.
And I would also like spiritual weapon. If it can move 20 feet, I assume that it can go to that square there.
20, it can.
And that would be close enough to attack with. It's got a 5-foot radius.
Agreed, yes.
Okay. As my bonus action, I would like to try to use spiritual weapon while it's still active.
Yes. So your bonus action moved it, and because it moved within 5 feet of a creature, it can make an attack on it.
Okay. 18.
18 hits.
Nice. And that's 2d8.
2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay. 15 damage from the spiritual weapon.
Okay. You sliced it, like, you now know what the inside of an angel's nose looks like. You feel a little bad about it, but at the same time, you feel a little happy about it, too.
Well, as long as he's not killing me, I'm happy. But
Yeah.
the rest of this has all been a little surreal.
Yeah, that's what the book was going for.
Yeah. So I guess I want to... Oh, you said he can't get damaged by radiant effect, right?
Correct.
Damn it. How about necrotic damage?
It can take any bit of necrotic damage you want.
All right. Then I am going to use inflict wounds on him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a melee spell attack. And what level are you casting at?
Let's go with another 3rd level.
Go for it. Roll to hit.
That one hit my computer. 17.
17 just barely hits. Just roll your damage of the 3rd level inflict wound spell.
Or 5d10.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Clerics, man. They give life and they can take it away.
Hagrid may in fact do both in one fight.
That's 20 necrotic damage.
All right. So, normally this is where I'd say, how do you want to do this? But knowing the group's strength right now, I'll just sit there and say, normally when you cast your spells, there's a bright holy energy that comes out of your hand. Instead, this time, you just put your hand right onto the face of the diva, and instead of the holy energy coming out, you would start absorbing it like you're a Hoover vacuum of divine light. And you just become more and more bright, shining. And you see that eventually the spatial features of the diva begin withering away. It begins to age rapidly. And you hold for 2, 3, 4 seconds, and eventually it just falls to dust. It doesn't seem to be alive anymore. As you put your hand down, the battle is over. As you look towards the flesh golem, now that the person that's enchanting it is no longer alive, it just kind of falls down into a shamble of assorted body parts.
Do I, in my head, do I hear Jarvis telling me that my battery percentage is 400 right now?
You know what? Whatever happens in your own mind, I'm not the dungeon master of your thoughts.
That's
So I'm gonna say yes. You can sit there and think that.
It was Iron and him absorbing all that energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've never felt so full of light in the most strange way before.
That would explain the boner.
So that's where that came from.
At this point, everything settles down. Would you like to sit there, look out the windows to see if anything caught your attention?
Well, I actually have to get going, grab a shower, get ready for work.
Okay. Yeah, we're just wrapping up here.
Yep.
Everything else is just flavor from here on out. Just know that you guys have hit a milestone, and everyone is now level 8.
Yes.
Awesome.
That means a lot of work for me now.
Yep.
In the best of ways.
Yeah,
Don't complain about getting a level up.
I'm not. I'm looking forward to this work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So that was a really, really strange encounter, by the way.
It was.
Yeah, I almost felt bad that we were attacking what was essentially an idiot, like,
He's a
blast.
dangerous idiot.
From,
Do we know he was dangerous? She just kind of told us to kill him, and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
This one was more like,
What was he doing? Like,
so out of game, and I guess this is where we can end the stream right now.
All right, ending.